GG! The Mouthful Podcast is brought to you by GoodGame.rock, the most welcoming gaming community on Facebook. Visit us at www.goodgame.rocks.
Making pancakes. Making pancakes. But you know, party.
Welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog. That is David, aka Dream Twister, and this is The Real. Episode 334 of GG's The Mouthful Podcast.
GG! And for those of you who are watching us live on TV, like, what the hell are you watching? We're not a video podcast. You better turn that shit off.
I know.
We're
I'm
not
going to
there.
say.
That's not us.
Yeah, definitely not us. Definitely
No,
not us.
definitely not.
I
We're
don't
certainly
have-
not doing that.
Yeah, I don't have grease in my hair, slick back. That's not me. That's not me.
No,
It
exactly.
may sound like it, like I should, from my voice, but I don't.
No,
I don't.
absolutely
Mr.
not.
Dream Twister, how are you? How has been the week that was?
Oh, the week that was is done. So it bears
Who
no
gives a
reason
shit,
to
right?
talk about it.
Who gives a shit about it anymore?
Who gives a No, actually, you know what? I am. I feel good. I feel good. I had a good week. Work is work, because work is always gonna be work. But I feel I even feel good there, if you believe it or not. So I'm okay. I'm actually very good to be doing the podcast, because I always need this time, because last week we had a chance to actually see and walk the walk like we did.
Oh, yes.
Remember?
Yes,
So
I remember.
that actually felt special. Actually, that's the week I was thinking about. This week was shit. Fuck, I messed up.
In retrospect,
It was the
I am
it was
completely
the
wrong.
previous week, the week that I saw you, and that we were able to reenact the walk. And because for those of you that joined us recently, this podcast started off as an idea during the aforementioned walk.
Yes.
Which the walk is the walk, and the walk was our 15-minute break walk that we did around the building.
That was the building, yeah.
To stretch our legs. I feel like an explanation is in order, because what the fuck is the walk, and why the mouthful? Are you guys eating guacamole? So that's that's the idea of us just taking that 15 minutes to stretch our legs, to move around, and to not talk about fucking work.
Not talk about work, yeah.
Talk about the things that we love the most. So, movies and video games, and life, because we love life. That's actually what made you punch me into submission until I agreed to do the podcast.
I mean, it took a
took like
little
2 years.
finagling. Yeah, it took a little finagling. And I think one day I caught you off guard, because I just pulled the phone out and hit record, and then we just started talking. And
and you're like, motherfucker, here's episode 1,
yeah, exactly.
which ended up being the pilot. And I was like, oh shit.
Well, you hear
I
mostly
don't sound
us
that bad. That's like,
talking with stuff in our mouths, hence the mouthful, for the record.
yes. That's the perfect
And a lot of
name.
crinkling of plastic, because we were eating some murder burgers.
The murder burgers, yes. The murder burgers. Oh,
Yeah.
how long for a simpler time.
I know. Exactly.
Well,
Such a good time. Such a good time.
Since I fucked up not mentioning it on the previous podcast, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it in this one. I am so happy that we did that, because it brought me great memories. And it was still fucking awesome. Like I don't even remember the hell that we spoke about. I think it might have been about Cyberpunk.
It was on Cyberpunk, a little bit of Tunic, yeah. Basically, what we're
about to go on. Exactly.
Where we're about to regale our
We're gonna
audience with.
reenact what we spoke last week on.
Pretty much.
There you go.
Good stuff. I, sir, am happy. It is the weekend. We're coming up. I am holding on strong as a 4-1 in my league.
Oh shit!
Holding on strong. I only lost to my wife. God, every time it never fails, bro. I don't know.
Because
It's gonna be a good week.
What?
It's gonna be a good week. Dallas is also 4-1. Who thought that was gonna happen after our main dude? I know nobody cares here about football, but I'm gonna talk about it a little bit because shit, that's what I gotta look forward to for the weekend. So it is what it is, people. It is what it is. But yeah, looking forward to our matchup this weekend.
I thought Dallas was really in very bad shape.
They were. First game of the season, our starting quarterback breaks his thumb, so he is out for the season. We lose that game like 19-3. And we're like, what? So the whole season, that's it. I guess it was fun. We'll see you guys next year. You know what I mean? And all that stuff. So we get our backup come in, and our backup, I mean, he's not lighting it up, but he's not making mistakes. He's handling what he has to handle, and our defense is doing what they need to do. And suddenly 4 wins in a row, baby. I'm like, oh shit. You know what I mean? And so I
like you.
Yeah. Our season's not over. Oh shit. So very excited. Of course, we're playing for the top of the division this week. So this is where we crash and burn because that's typical of the Dallas Cowboys. So but we still don't have our starting quarterback. So it would only make sense. But yeah, that's where we're at.
No wonder why you're so jolly.
Oh, when it comes to that, hell yeah. I mean, usually my fantasy league is where I fall back on when the Dallas Cowboys are doing shit, or vice versa, right? I fall back on Dallas when they're doing well because my fucking fantasy football team is doing shit. And on the occasional year, both of them are screwed, but not always, And so yeah, this is the year where both are trucking along nicely, and yeah, $500 on the line, shit.
That's the biggest. That's the biggest poll that you guys have pulled together, right?
No, that's the biggest, yeah, because we're up 14. Did we ever do 6? I think we did 16 people once, 16 total players once. We may have it next year because my dad wants to join. And
now he wants to join. First he wanted to observe.
Yeah, it was like, see how things are done. It's whatever. I told you, just do it, man. You gotta just dive into the deep end. That's the best way to go. So he may join, and then Mark. I don't even remember Mark McAdams. Mark McAdams' son, who came with him this year. He wanted to join. And it's like if my dad would have joined, then we would have just put all 16 together. But I told him, it's like, hey, he'll be here next year. If you're here next year, you're in like Flynn. So yeah. But anyway.
Right, and then now that we lost half of our audience,
exactly.
Let's bring it back to gaming. Like, how are we doing on our gaming fantasy? Gaming league?
I've been pocketing that, sir. I was like, we have to have an episode to go over the results. So far, you think you're still in the lead because of your fucking Elden Ring bullshit, but it is what
whoever got Elden Ring, that's the Tom Brady of this, or what would have been. It goes to show how little I know.
No, nailed it. Tom Brady's still out there. He's still trucking along.
Oh, okay, all right. There you go. Good.
Let's see. The one that you and I did, the Mouthful Podcast League, I had Elden Ring on that one. So
you have Elden Ring, and hence the reason why you're trucking
exactly ahead. I screwed up with Valkyrie Elysium because that one got me negative points. Damn.
Yeah, that one
did not fly well. But you have 112 points. I have 134 points so far. For the other one that has the 5 of us, let's see where we're at here. In the lead is Mr. Dream Twister currently with 118 points, followed by me at 62 points. God, what the hell happened here? Hold on, let me see.
You are Dallas Cowboys.
Oh. So you got The Last of Us Part 1. Okay, fucking guy. Xenoblade Chronicles, yeah.
I thought we were not allowed to make remakes.
You selected it, so
you guys let me.
I mean, I don't think. I think it's remasters that are not allowed. This is an actual technically a new game.
I guess that's there you go.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 got you 18 points.
Oh yeah.
Last of Us Part 1 got you 18 points, and then Splatoon 3 got you 13. So those are the most recent ones that have just blown up.
Those are my main players.
Yeah. Chaos is sitting at 42. Not doing too well there. I'm at 63. What do I have? Let's see. I have Callisto Protocol. I'm hoping. Crossing fingers there. Crossing fingers. I think it's
I
Stray.
want that game to be good. So I don't care if
Plague
want
Tale
it.
Requiem. Okay. Hollow. So I still have a chance. God of War, Hollow
have
Knight,
some good
Silk
ones.
Song,
Oh shit! You got God of War.
Plague Tale, and Callisto Protocol. Those are the ones I have left.
Got some heavy hitters at the end, at the tail end.
On the tail end, yeah. I don't know if it's gonna be enough, but we'll see. We'll see. To mention the other
Scorn.
Huh?
Scorn came out. What it has Scorn?
No,
I think I had it. And
it didn't. It
dropped it.
didn't. No, I don't think you may have dropped it. Then the good
I
call.
dropped
'Cause I don't
it,
think it's.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think. It's, I think that was gonna be a bad pick.
I was like, don't get me wrong, I want to play it, but the moment I saw what it was trying to be, it's like, ooh, I don't know if this is gonna sit well with the reviewers. And at the end of the day, that's what our scores are being based on. So
Dude,
I want to
Game Pass that
sacrifice
shit, 'cause
Scorn.
I don't even think it's worth that. Seriously, it's on Game Pass. It is coming to Game Pass. So try Game Passing it if you're able to do it on PC.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a 7.5 for that type of game, I want to see what it is, no doubt.
I mean, I like the style, right? The art style that they're going for. I kind of dig it. It is the whatever Geiger guy, who H something Geiger, yeah. So I like that style. It is really, I don't know, it's out there. It looks and feels fleshy all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like,
it is very organic, very,
yeah. So I don't know how that's going to.
It's disturbing. It's very disturbing.
I'm all right with that. The disturbing part is fine. I mean, it's game, so I'm all right with that. But yeah.
It doesn't make it less flinching in some areas. Like, ooh, fuck me.
Ooh. So I'm putting my what where? Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that.
I'm not putting my dick in a toaster. That's what this game wants you to do.
It's apparently, yeah. All right, guys. Well, with that, first off, if this is your first time listening, please go to goodgame.rocks. Join the conversation there. Like, subscribe, share the podcast with everyone. What we normally do first, we go into what we have been up to. We move on into various news items. And then, of course, we finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic. Something about AI. Hold on. Let me get that. I had it up.
This is the reason why they're going to overtake us.
Oh, here we go. Time to worry about AI. And it's a little scary, bro. It's a little scary. So if you guys don't know, his funny thing is I feel like a lot of people who are not into tech or tech talk or, just normal stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, are completely unaware of what's out there right now when it comes to AI. Like, it's just oblivious to it.
That's how the machine takes over.
Exactly. It comes out of nowhere. They don't understand. I go, oh my God, we just gave Skynet life. You know what I mean? Yes. And then we have to explain it to them. But yeah, wanted to take a look at and talk about some of the interesting stuff that is being done currently with AI, and really kind of get to the really meat of the question, which is what is it we're giving up by having by utilizing AI in whatever it is that we're using it now. Currently, music, paintings, images, and it's in gaming as well. They do use AI to create, and even two poor examples would be like everything that happened with the Grand Theft Auto remake or a trilogy, which we all know was awesome in its own poor way. But anyway, we'll get a little bit into that later on in the show, go into those details and really talk about what we may be losing. But let's go ahead and start with what we have been up to. Mr. David Santos.
Oh, yes.
What, sir, have you been doing?
Well, speaking of AI, I've
been creating pictures all day.
No. Actually, yes. How did you know? Oh. Holy shit. There is no. Okay, so you took me on a tangent, so now you're gonna listen to me. Okay. I apologize, but this is your fault. So there is an app, or not an app, like a program, like a program you download from on PC that is free from NVIDIA called Canvas. And what it lets you do is it's open up, an empty canvas, and you start drawing like lines or brush strokes or whatever. Like it makes like it could be like the most random thing. Like it doesn't matter. And then the program, through its AI logic, uses that to interpret it in a way that it will create some amazing artistic landscapes that when you're done with it, it looks like it looks like you actually had talent to create it. Like you actually took time to put this together meticulously, when in reality you were literally just chicken scratching the screen, the mouse, just moving it randomly. And this thing is creating like a beach with the water and the sun, with the flare, with the sun flare and everything, and the sand and the palm trees, or the hills with the blue sky, or if you just want an ominous during the night scene. You kind of have to just give it basic. Like I believe you select the canvas. Like if you select a dark canvas, then it's gonna assume that everything you want to do it's gonna be nighttime related. So, instead of a dot being interpreted as a cloud, for example, it might change it to stars or the moon or whatever. It just I don't understand how it understands what you're trying to do. You're also it's not just like making shapes with the mouse pad alone. You kind of have to select like, okay, this is like a palette. It has a palette, and in the palette, let's say it has, well, this is the palette for greens.
Okay.
And you select it and you use it, and then everything is like it interprets that, okay, so you're drawing dirt. You're drawing, grass, for example, or something like that. And then you might select, okay, I want the water palette. Okay, well, now everything's going to be like rivers or oceans, or depending on how big of an area you are filling out with blue. And then like it shows you on the left side, for example, like I have it on the left side, it'll show you your real version, what you're actually doing.
Real,
it looks like like you could let your 3-year-old nephew play with the computer in MS Paint. And then on the right side, it shows you like this like incredibly artistic, gorgeous work of art that you're making. So
allegedly making.
Yeah, allegedly making. Yeah, I might have saved a couple there. I'm gonna send it to you so you can see what I mean. It was it's very fun. It was. And it was kind of impressive, and something that like I didn't think that I was gonna bring up here, but it goes perfectly well with our topic.
With our topic,
be our AI, because that's what it's based on. It's all based on the AI that can be run by the what you call it, the graphics card in this case.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's an NVIDIA program. Anyway, aside from that, I have been playing the only game that I've been playing, actually, and the only thing I've done this week has been Cyberpunk.
Of course.
What else was I gonna say? So, this is what I tell you when I say that I love when games like grab me, and that feeling of I want to go back and I want to see what's next. Here is mixed with, but I don't want to consume everything real quick either, because at the same time I don't want it to like suddenly end. Like I know that I want to reach the end, but I don't want to reach it by accident. Although I'm pretty sure with this type of game, it'll probably have like well, you finished the game. No, you can just go ahead and continue other side quests that you might have missed. Like, I have no doubt of that, but
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I want to finish it when I finish it. And so what I've been noticing is that I've been playing in such a way that like almost every mission or groups of missions that I'm doing, they feel like daily episodes of a show almost.
Oh, look at you. A serial, if you will.
Yes, yeah, it does. I try not to just leave stuff like in the middle. So, I try to finish whatever mission, even if that takes me past my bedtime, which it has done a couple times already. So I'm being also very careful. Like, I didn't play yesterday, and I haven't played it today either, because I also don't want to incur the wrath of my lovely wife. Because I think there was a mission that that mission when I was in Pacifica, that I went to Pacifica for the first time. I went to that area.
Pacifica, if I remember correctly, is where the Voodoo Boys are.
Where the Voodoo Boys are.
Yes,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. Which I might have pissed them off royally. Let's just say. I think that's why I kind of ask you, like, hey, so don't tell me, details, but did you help them, or did you betray them? I don't think betray is the right word, but it's also the right word. But did you went with them or against them or what? And I think, my actions were, I kind of regret them in a way. At the same time, I don't regret them because, like, I remember at the very beginning of the of the game that, I think I was getting attacked by people from that faction, at some point, or maybe it was a faction that a lot of people were like concerned about, and and like, I don't know, I immediately got super prejudiced, and also I like to explore the things that I like to go off the deep end a little bit, not the standard, the expected action, like I'm playing it relatively safe with my choices, but every now and then I like to see what happens if I go the other way. So in this case, I had the opportunity to, like, kind of, mess up with them,
Oh, okay.
I don't want to give too much. So, and that ended up costing a lot more than what I anticipated. But at the same time, hey, that was my choice. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
what I mean.
Own up to it, then. Fuck it.
And also, it's fucking CD Projekt Red storytelling, which it is. There's no particularly right or wrong, and I feel like in a lot of this, mission, especially this one that is considered part of the main mission, there is no discernible proper choice, because the proper choice, or the choice that you might think is it should be the right one, could lead you into, like, it could lead you into bad stuff,
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm also very careful with some of the decisions I make, because if I recall correctly, like, The Witcher 3 was phenomenal in its way that it handled each mission, and it had multiple endings. But the things that affected the endings were like trivial shit that you wouldn't have expected it to have the impact that it did. Like, I completely stood against this faction and I was with these people, and now you're gonna tell me that because I decided to pronounce this supposedly, now I'm, this person's gonna die. It's like it was ridiculous. I don't remember what it was, but it was really stupid. and I was not happy with with it, especially when I realized that we both ended up getting the same ending. I was like, well, shit. Of
Which is
course.
considered the bad ending. But
Yes.
to me, I always took it as it. So I remember what it was. I looked it up. I remember looking. I was like, I need to know how we get to the other ones, and not that I was going to go back and do, but what is it that I messed up? And it was always regarding Ciri, and it was about there was a moment where we had to attack the Wild Hunt, and I needed to choose to do one thing and allow her to do something else, which made sense, right? Because it would let her gain confidence. And instead, because I'm the hero of the story, I decided to go with the hero path. You know what I mean? And and she ended up going up. So like
the part that it feels like it's the right choice
to the hero, correct.
Right.
And so, but I appreciated what they were doing. It's like, yeah, but she is the one, not him. In the end, if you really look at the stories of The Witcher, and I've read a few of the books, and it's like, yeah, he's the guy. He helps, but he's never really the central focus. You know what I mean?
Right,
Even in the show,
right.
what do you think about it? In the show, it's always been Ciri and a bunch of other, so it was like, it made sense. It just, I agree. It was like, man, if to hang it on that, it was,
yes,
it's hard to go, well, shit, how would I have known? But in the
felt
end,
like an on and off option at that point. It almost felt like the Mass Effect 3 ending, it almost felt like, except that you didn't know the path. You didn't know the switch. It didn't matter anything else that happened in the past, because most other games will take that into consideration, and depending on the actions, it'll kind of like gradient select a path, in a kind of a, your actions from the very beginning of the game is what determines your outcome. But in here, and I'm hoping that it's Cyberpunk, it's not the same. And if it is, don't tell me, because it'll greatly disappoint me. It felt like a switch that was located at a very particular point at the very close to the end, where if I just want to change the ending, I just need to reload that, however many minutes before it was, and play that, and then get the good ending.
That's the thing. I think they went to sort of, I don't want to say sort of correct it, because I don't know if there was purposeful correction or it was just a happy accident. But the DLC Hearts of Stone technically doesn't occur. I played it after beating the game, but technically when it came out, it was available in the main story, as long as you had it obviously downloaded. And you obviously, whatever's in there, you had to be of a certain level in order to do it. But at that point, there's a character that is integral to the Heart of Stone storyline, who's kind of someone who can see the future and stuff like that. I don't want to talk too much about it because it's such a great character. But anyway, there's a conversation you can have with this character regarding what is it do I need to do to help Ciri? And there are clues.
Oh, great!
So exactly. It's like,
fucking DLC to be able to determine.
Correct. Yeah. Now again, the DLC is technically it's not like the other one, Blood and Wine, where you literally have. I don't know if you have to, but you really want to complete the game before starting Blood and Wine. Heart and Stone, you don't have to, and you can also do it while you're just playing the main game, because it's just like it's like an extended little area within the first area. And so I can't.
I like those DLCs that integrate into the main story.
Yeah. Like the first Horizon Zero Dawn, where the Frozen Wilds is actually just a branch right off of the main world. That's right. And so that was what this was. And if you completed this, I think you meet him early on, and you had that conversation, and I had it afterwards, and I'm like, motherfucker, where were you when I was doing this shit? You know what I mean? I would have known. But he's also kind of cryptic a little bit. You know what I mean? So he's
maybe like, you wouldn't have gotten it.
Yeah, I might not have even understood. But I was so engrossed into Heart. I'd still say today, Heart of Stone sits right next to fucking the the DLC for BioShock 2. I can't think of the name. Minerva's Den. Like Minerva's Den is two. Heart of Stone is number one as far as when it comes to DLC
Damn.
of all time. Yeah,
that's a part that's a whole Witcher game that I haven't played. I could just jump in that, and that could be like my game.
And then you also have Blood and Wine. So the average time frame was about 10 to 11 hours for Heart of Stone. And Blood and Wine is like another 30 to 35 hours.
That's a fucking heavy
That's
game.
Another game.
I mean, that's a Witcher.
Exactly.
That's the Witcher. That's exactly
right
what you want
exactly.
of a DLC. This is actually no. Fuck that. I'm not gonna call them DLC. I'm gonna call them expansion because that's what they are.
Yeah.
Proper.
That's
expansion.
how they refer to it as well. So yeah.
Exactly. No. I don't want the DLC. DLC has devalued that into like, oh, we're just gonna nickel and dime the shit out of you with like little pieces of game,
little stuff,
horse armor, thank you Microsoft and Bethesda for this, thank you. So
hold on one second, sir. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna owe you $3.99 plus tax for movie and your thing.
Okay. What'd you get?
No, I tried to see the Kingsman, the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not even worth $3.99, but okay.
It's $3.99.
I know, I got you. All right, baby, I got you. If it's $10.99, I got you. I don't care. I love you, baby.
$10,000.
I'm sorry to interrupt the whole podcast with that, but she went to. She's on the thing, and obviously my account is what's linked to it, and she's getting a movie so she can watch it. She's like, so just to let you know, I owe you $3.99 plus tax.
Oh shit! At least she has the at least she asked you about it.
Well, it's already done. It's not asking. It's hey, by the way.
By the way, yeah. My wife would not even. She'd be like, and to be fair, it's all on me because I allowed it once, and she took it as
doors open ever since.
Also, it's called marriage. You
I know.
have no choice.
Say, exactly. Do we really have a choice? It's like, all right.
Oh, she's watching. I mean, she's not. She's watching the. She
Twilight?
picked up Walking Dead.
No. Are you serious?
Yeah.
She started from the beginning?
No, fuck no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank God.
But
just out of morbid curiosity?
She I guess she ran out of everything else. All their others, like she already caught up with Better Call Saul. She was watching something else. I forgot what it was, but and of course she's watching House of Dragon and The Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I want to see it. I got them both.
She's watching a lot of TV.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess out of like wanting to watch something, something else, I couldn't convince her to ask. Like I always tell her, like, Asanalo, see, get a recommendation. That's what I do.
To watch The Bear. The Bear. Well, you guys don't have Hulu. Never mind.
Oh no, we don't have Hulu. If we have Hulu, you know which one I will watch? The murder. The murder in the building.
Yes, there you go. Dude, it's worth
it.
It's I know we can.
What's it called again?
Only Murders in the Building.
Only Murders in the Building. Well, my niece actually, my niece is gonna be living with us for quite some time now, and she has the Hulu. So okay, well, that's how you're paying your.
That's how you do it. Yeah, exactly. That's how you earn your keep.
Exactly. So I'm excited because I do want to watch that. I heard nothing good.
Well, then there you go. The Bear. She can watch The Bear once that happens.
Watch The Bear. Okay, I'll let her know about the freaking bear.
The freaking bear. God,
freaking bear.
All right.
And then honestly, the last thing that I watched on TV, I think it was that Cyberpunk.
Edge Runners.
What do you call it? Edge Runners. Yes, exactly. Which I understand that you went through, and you're gonna talk about it on, when it's your turn.
I will.
Which I might as well make it now because I really didn't do anything else. And I mean, I could talk about.
Well, I have some questions. For Cyberpunk 2077.
All right.
First and foremost, what's the most recent mission that you did?
So, Okay, let me think about because I haven't played in a couple of days. But I went. That's the one where I went to Pacifica. Actually, to tell you exactly where or more or less where I'm at, because they're or at least as I understand it. Don't correct me if I'm wrong, but as I understand it, there's like 2 or maybe 3 main stories that you're or perhaps they are converging or they should converge. Anyway, the one where I can't say much, can I? Because this will be a major spoiler.
No one's gonna know. I mean, don't say names, or major plot points, but just
Well,
overall, what it was that you needed to do.
Well, I'm fucking trying to. I'm trying to remember what is it that I did that landed me on this. Anyway, I'm not gonna remember, so that's fine. The I went to Pacifica, which I had that option to do like earlier on in the game, but I didn't because I was doing a lot of side missions. But also, I was doing the middle of the 3 options that the game presents you. If there are 3, I don't know if there are 3, but it looks like there are 3 anyway. I was doing the other, which had to do with what the fuck did it have to do with? It was there was a parade, and I needed to
right,
make an assault on that parade.
Gotcha. Yes. Okay.
And extract someone. So. Which was the other episode. That was I'll tell you, it's like each playthrough is an episode. So the previous episode to Welcome to Pacifica was the big Japanese holiday parade that they were having.
Right. Okay. I know where you're at then. I know
that's
where you're at. Okay.
Awesome. That mission was awesome. Like I thoroughly enjoy the crap out of everything on it. I can't speak about it because I won't say it, but
I mean, you just the overall, you say the mission, you can say what the mission is, just leave names out. So I need to do this.
Okay. Yes. So I needed to extract someone that was part of the parade. I believe she was in either one of the floats or in.
Yeah, she's a high value target.
Yes, she's a high value target. Exactly.
Yeah. And obviously highly protected. So
yes.
The moments needed to be able to extract her against her will, mind you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now that she's a prisoner, against her will, from a it's limited. So the best time was a parade. Because why not?
Parade,
yeah.
During exactly, and you had to take care of the defenses that she had. There were snipers in several buildings that you have to meticulously take down.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to alert anybody of your presence because you're also working with a partner who so that is doing his part of the heist, if you will.
The inn guy, the guy who gave you the inn.
Yes, exactly. It is taken. If you take away, if we lived in an alternate reality where this game came complete, where this was version 1.0 of this game, this would have gone down in history as one of those highly spoken, like they would have been like, we would have been like, man, they were going to try to exceed what they did in The Witcher, and they succeeded. If this would have been, in the sense that, of course, it's 2 different things. So if you like the medieval stuff more, then you're gonna find The Witcher to be more enthralling. But in my case, I like the sci-fi portion. So even though I really love The Witcher, I fucking love this world. This is the world that I wanted to continue working on. Fuck The Witcher 4. I don't want to play that. I want to play what thankfully seems to be the next Cyberpunk that they're going to be doing. And I cannot believe that, like those words don't make sense in the reality that we live in, where that game came out so fucking broken that it was shameful. It was completely shameful. And now here I am playing a version that I'm like, my God, this is what they were going for. I get it. I understand. This is incredibly fun, incredibly immersive. I am enjoying fully the fact that this is in my opinion, and again, I'm not the best judge of storytelling or stuff like that. I get entertained with lighter, easier
No,
things.
no, but it is good storytelling.
But it is
yeah.
very good storytelling. I'm in that movie, and I am the character. But I still don't know if I'm the protagonist, mind you, because of the way things are going. But it's
Interesting,
still an amazing take, and I feel like every choice that I'm making has an impact. Even if it's not true, it is giving me that impression at least throughout gameplay, and that's what I love. That's
It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. You don't have to know, as long as it appears that way. You're exactly. As long as it appears to be,
mind story.
For certain things. Yeah.
Right. This is the way. So you played the female version of V with your unique selections and your decisions and you had your story your way, and I feel like I can say, this is I'm playing the same world, but my choices are my choices, and we might be very very close into the selections that we made on one, but in another ones we could be like completely different, and I'm dying to see how that actually
that
actually changes.
That mission to me when I first played it, which is into the game, you know what I mean, it's not at the beginning, it's into the game, and I remember absolutely loving. I remember at that point is when I realized, because early on with me, the main issue of the game is its sandbox nature, right? Where you have this open space and, hey, you need to go here. So now they get into a car or a motorcycle and drive all the way over there. It's like, oh my God.
You don't enjoy that.
Just need to, it's one of those things that, I mean, don't be wrong, the world is cool and all. And at first I enjoyed that, but time is limited when it comes to my gameplay time. So if I spend 2 hours 2-3 hours that I have available for game time, and 45 minutes to an hour of that is just driving to where I need to go, to me, at some point, it starts to feel like wasted time. You know what I mean? And I know the argument, there's things you could do along the way. I got you. But I am the story guy. I want the main story. I want some side story as well and all that stuff. I love that. But I want the story. And there really is nothing going on other than listening to the radio as I'm driving. You know what I'm saying? And so to me, it always felt it feels wasted, which is by the time I got to the end, I was just fast traveling anywhere. But the game didn't solidify itself as an amazing title until that mission for me as well. I remember, as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure you'll find a video of my playthrough of that on the GG.
I want to find it. YouTube. I want to find it just to see,
because I was just like, oh shit, but it was so mesmerizing the way it did. For me, this is for me, and I don't need them to redo shit for me. I'm just saying, for me, I would hold the game in a much higher regard if you can get all those missions and put them into a more streamlined thing where I don't have to fucking travel the entire fucking city and you know what I mean? Is all that stuff kind of to me But
did you get bothered doing the same because think about The Witcher. You had to get on the horse and go places in The Witcher.
True,
but you fast travel also like crazy?
I did fast travel after a while. Yes, after a while, but not earlier. And the reality is, with The Witcher, you're opening space up. You can't fast travel to this spot if you've never been there. You know what I mean? So the sense of discovery was like, oh, I can. Hey, let me go check out what's in this area. And of course, you have the map with the question marks, and you just kind of just go there. And so
that's Cyberpunk, but the difference is that Cyberpunk is more urban, though.
Everything, but everything's open to you. You can go anywhere. Nothing's locked away. You can just go anywhere at any point. But there was, to me, there was, and I discovered this much later, and I assume you already know it. I discovered this much later where there were like police missions or like stuff that you can do that were that whatever that you could just kind of stop and do, and I
Yeah.
never did them because I was like that to
Oh, I'm
me
doing
was
them,
that GTA bullshit where it's like, oh, here's a radio, here's a thing, you can go over here to do it. It's like,
yeah.
no, I'm on my way to where I need to go. You know what I mean?
Actually, I'm taking them out because you're right. Those things are completely optional. You don't have to do them. The only reason I'm doing them is because it's an easy way to make money.
That was my
And
issue. And I told that to Chaos where I was like, I'm
yeah,
struggling to buy anything, you know?
because
And
you're
he's
not
like,
doing
I don't
that.
know how.
You're
I
not.
was like, how? Yeah, he was telling me, he's like, I don't know how. Yeah.
So I have money in that game, and I have actually chromed myself up. Like I'm not legendary on the stuff that I wear. My reputation is legendary, or no, the one below legendary, but everything else that I'm wearing is kind of like I think I just got my first orange or whatever the color is that's supposed to be like the epic color weapon, very recent, or not weapon but cyber implant.
Mhm.
But I don't have I don't have a thing with money because as I'm driving, if I see one of the, like, I'm not stopping on all of them, don't mind, don't get me wrong, but if I notice that it's gonna be that I'm traveling far and I just don't want to just only do the driving, and it's still gameplay, so it's still fun to me, I'm still taking guys down and stuff, I'll stop, I'll do them, and it'll grant me with either money or money plus items that I can either use, or implants even that I can use, or
Yeah.
if I can't use them, I can sell them at the very
Yeah.
least. And that's how I maintain a decent cash flow that has allowed me to pretty much fuck around with
Exactly. And that's
with
exactly how you did it. That's exactly how Chaos did it. And for me, who wanted the more streamlined experience, struggled with having to get the items that
right.
or stuff, you know what I mean? And to me, I mean, granted, I still enjoyed my journey, but knowing that, oh, part of that journey really does require you to go off the beaten path, even if you don't want to, so that you can at least have that cash flow, which works for the storyline as well, right? Because you are a merc, you know what I mean? And
Right.
as a merc, you're probably going to take jobs here and there as they pop up. But it to me,
it's also the nature of open worlds. That's what
true.
open worlds do.
But I mean, and to be fair, as going back to The Witcher, that's true as well. But the difference with The Witcher was I don't know, because those little mission, those little things that give you some money were the hunts, right? You get to a notice board, you grab the notice on it, and it says, hey,
I did not do the hunt. You see?
Oh, I did.
You see the difference?
I don't know.
You see the difference?
Because there was preparation involved. It was like, okay, so I need to learn about the thing. You go out there, you figure out what it is. Oh, it's that. Okay, now I'm looking for items that I know will give me the advantage in this hunt. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe you live in the cyberpunk world, and I live in the Witcher,
in the fantastical the hi-fi, the high fantasy.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah,
you like fantasy football. You don't like sci-fi football.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Even though sci-fi football sounds phenomenal,
it kind of does. Yeah.
Where is that? Wasn't that the XFL? Oh, anyway.
Oh, extreme football league. Yeah.
Yeah. No, right. Remember.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that it had allowed me to fuck around with that, dude, like I was excited when I put that message. Was I was playing guns just like you. I was doing well. I was trying to not do just the typical Magnum, the revolver type. No, not the typical handguns. I was trying to be a little different, and well, let me go ahead and do semi-automatic. It's not too
okay,
far
okay.
from it still, right?
Yeah.
But he was still feeling like, well, okay, this is a shooter. This is a shooter. This is fine. This is definitely serviceable. It works great. It's fun, but it's not different enough, And then that's when I got the monowire. I said, let me just put myself the monowire because a lot of people are gonna choose the praying mantis blades, I'm sure. Let me do the monowire because I feel like that's the one that's gonna get ignored, the most, and ends up being completely awesome.
Oh yeah. I had the monowire for a bit. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, because you can damage enemies and you don't even need to get that close. But that require me to spec up into reflex, which at this point I hadn't put that many points. I have done nothing but put points on that now to where that now is actually my biggest of the stats. I have my second largest is still the one where I can hack people with my I can mind hack people. I forget what that is called, but the one that basically allows you to
I know what you're talking. I don't recall the name though. Yeah, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and the cybernetics, whatever it is. So I got that, but at the same time, I am a kick-ass motherfucking samurai ninja.
I was gonna say, I think you put ninja. Yeah.
And I posted that because I felt the moment I grabbed that katana and I realized, well, I have points in blade already because I have had to put into the blade skill tree for the monowire. Let me use this katana and see what happens. And oh boy, did it change the gameplay for me. It makes taking out enemies like faster, more fun because you're going fast at them. You're going around. I can still have I can still strategize and be like, okay, I'm gonna blind this person so that while this person is blind, I'm just gonna chop off this other fool with the katana, and then I'm gonna take care of the of the person I blinded by turning off his eyes, because that's what you get for wearing cyber eyes.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna cyber psychosis this other fool so that he will make people weaker, while at the same time I'm installing a virus on another fool that is gonna spread that virus towards everybody that is around him. So you see all the hit points going down. So you're basically going into this fight being extremely efficient because it's not just you attacking with the katana in this case, like I am, but also your cybernetics are also doing damage and causing havoc, at the same time, and you could end up with a room, just full of bodies, at the little bit, and that's when I had to pause and grab my phone and text. I'm a fucking cyber ninja. At this point, I am I am Gray Fox.
Yeah. That's exactly, nice.
Oh my god, dude. It changed. It's fun because I didn't think I was gonna enjoy playing a melee character. Or not a melee, I guess a bladed character, because melee will be like punches and stuff, which you can also spec.
No, melee's melee. Melee includes weapons. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. So it changed it enough. Where I'm telling you, man, I am having a hell of a good time. Nice. with it. So much so, and here comes my shame.
Uh-oh.
I made a stupid mistake.
Oh, okay.
in real life.
What did you buy?
Life. you know me so well. It's like, you fucking know me so well. You know what? You're so close. Let's see. Go ahead. Try
I'm
to
thinking.
try
It's
to
either going to
imagine.
be. Fuck. Let me see. I don't know, bro. It's either
Okay,
gonna
whatever
be
you're thinking, that's what it was.
the
That's what
jacket. It wouldn't have been the jacket. That was what I was thinking. The first thing that came out was the jacket.
Oh, well, let's say it was just as stupid. However, I'm gonna get a lot more out of this, but I won't recommend it. I won't say the price, and I won't discourage anyone that wants to follow me. But anyway, this week, NVIDIA announced the latest. Oh no, they didn't announce. Sorry, they announced this like last month. This was the week where the newest, latest, and greatest graphics cards from NVIDIA were going to be released. I don't know obscene pricing. That's all I'm going to say about price.
Yeah.
But I certainly. Oh, thank you. That's my notification app that I have that is telling, hey, this card is now available. Because remember the PlayStation 5 hunt?
Yes.
You remember I was going to ask you, do you remember the 3080 hunt?
Before
that would escape you. I would escape you because you wouldn't have participated in that. But you participated off of that
PS5.
off of the PS5. Well, yes, it would have been that, and it was that actually. For disc cards, even though the situations were evidently going to be better because of the crypto crash and a lot of crypto mining is not being done on video cards anymore, at least not the major ones. So supposedly there was not going to be as many scalpers and crypto miners just like getting trucks full of these cards for their mining farms. So situation was going to be better, and it was marginally. I will say I was able to snag one on the day of release, even though it still doesn't show that it has. Well, actually, it shipped this afternoon, but I was worried for a little bit. And the only reason I did that was because imagine the highest, fastest video card that is available, that was available last week, let's say, up to last week. That was in the market. That is the GeForce RTX 3090. That is not the one I have. I have the 3080.
Oh.
And the 3090 was ridiculous. When I say ridiculously fast, I mean that there was no reason a gamer should have that. Okay, and yet a lot of them did. I didn't, because by that time I was not crazy. I'm crazy now, but not.
I just recently broke bad, but not that.
Not to that level. Not to that level. Well. The ones that they release now, with the benchmarks done, it's literally double the performance, in the most literal sense possible, the performance of the highest end video card that was available in the market before this generation. And what I mean by that, I mean like games that ran as let's say you had a powerful graphics card that could get you a particular game, whatever it is, at a solid 60 frames per second, with all the bells and whistles on, with RTX on, with everything on, where this game looked like incredible, right? And a full 4K without checkerboarding or anything like that, like realistic 4K.
The real shit, yeah.
Well, whatever the card ran at 60, this card will run at 120 to 150. Like literally double the performance. In some cases, triple. But for cases of games that are 4K, it is basically duplicating the performance, of that. So now I'm playing Cyberpunk with almost all the bells and whistles at the highest setting. I can't put it literally at the highest because I will be at 45 frames or stuff, which is it's still fine, but you will notice, you will notice the difference. It's not a smooth 60, which, yes, consoles have been, consoles are running this game now at 60, like I'm aware, but what you have to understand is that consoles achieve that by lowering down a lot of the a lot of this of the settings, where if you don't have the mindset of what it looks like with those settings, you're not gonna care, because all the console versions are literally gonna look the same, obviously, right? A PS5 version of Cyberpunk will look exactly from one and another. There's not gonna be any difference. And it's only when you put it and you compare it to a version on PC, for example, that they will throw in, well, let's crank up the ray tracing for and let's crank out the real 4K and all those bells and whistles and shit, that you start noticing the difference. But of course, that comes at a high cost, and the high cost is gonna be your games. Unless you have the power, your game's gonna run. You're gonna notice you're gonna notice that the PlayStation 5 is gonna run a lot smoother and a lot cleaner than a top of the line, beautiful looking slideshow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I've seen people play like that. It's like they crank everything to the maximum, but then they're playing at 30 frames per second. I'm like, why are you doing that? And like, no, I don't want, I don't want to have the. If I have the option, I will tone down the
performance first.
I'll put the performance over. Yeah, I will tone down the graphical fidelity. But now I can fucking have both. And that fucking excites me like a maniac. There was absolutely no reason why I had to jump on this fucking whatsoever, because I have a decent graphics card already. But I knew that it was gonna bother me, and
knowing that there was something better.
No, but here's the thing: you will think it's just that, but I always knew that there was something better when I bought the 3080. It was called the 3090. The problem is that the price, the way I saw it, was like, well, I can do with this. This one is the good enough. This one is the awesome enough. And to be fair, if the NVIDIA would have released, like they have done before, where they release the fucking high-end version and then the flagship, and they're the Halo version, and I mean Halo not in the sense of Halo the game, but Halo is as in the they're top of the line. This is actually for the 1%ers. This is just kind of like a show off piece, basically. Then I would have been like, well, I don't need that, because this is decent enough. But they're not releasing their mainstream one until like a month from now, which I realize, again, it makes me sound incredibly foolish because it's only a fucking month. But I'm telling you, this shit would have bothered me so much during this time, knowing that I can play Flight Simulator, which I have yet to have a completely smooth experience, a decent frame rate with that game.
Wow.
With Flight Sim, right? Because again, if I tone down the graphics, yeah, I can make it run like it runs on the Xbox One, on the Xbox Series X, I mean, and it'll be fine. But no, I want to make it look beautiful, like it shows on the on the trailers and all that. But if I crank it up, then I'm starting getting like 45, 50 on areas that are like very like if I fly over New York, which looks gorgeous, but because of all the buildings that it had to render, it kind of chugged. With Cyberpunk is the reason it's the fact that it has to render so many people around that it chugs.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a fuck it. And that's the problem. Whenever I feel like I don't have the money
Whenever
for
you
this,
do
I
that,
put it on a
yeah.
fucking card.
Of course,
The reason
I'm sure you're not saying the price, so I'm just like, ooh, yep, I know where that went.
it's please don't find out for my sake, because I'm still jittery. Because here's the other thing. This video, and I took it to an hour. See, now I'm gonna let you speak for a second. Let me see. This fucking video card, it's so fucking obscenely big in size that it literally does not fit on my computer. You've seen my computer.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen that there should be ample space to have, I don't know, a standard, look hardware inside should fit normally. No. If I put this one, I cannot close the side of the side window on the computer because it doesn't fit. It does.
So you need a whole new case now, is what I'm understanding.
I did. So it's card and case also at the same time, and I'm like, I'm gonna take away my cards. I'm gonna give them to my wife. Be like, here. I'm not going out anyway, so don't let me use them. Don't let me. The problem is I have the number memorized already. So, but yeah, that was my. I'm waiting. Now I'm playing the waiting game. I'm gonna put everything together.
Okay. Which
means taking my fucking computer apart and dumping it into a new case now. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna see if I put this one for sale. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I need to recoup some of that hole that I made. And I'm gonna report back next week. But Nvidia's a fucking hideous company, and I fucking hate them for it. But holy shit, what they have shown, and you can see this on YouTube. Every reviewer, even the most critical ones that they do get critical on some aspects of it, they still admit like, holy shit, this is it. This is fucking future technology, right now. Because another one of the technologies. Remember how we talk about DLSS? What DLSS does to gaming, right? And how exciting it will be to bring those technologies to console, because basically it uses uses AI. Basically, it's what it literally is what it's doing. It's using AI to study the frame. Let's say that your game is running at, I don't know, 30 frames, let's say, for example. Well, it studies the frame before and the frame after, and it kind of makes up on its own.
Oh, right.
What would have been the middle frame, right? So
it's filling in the potential blank. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. It would be so that so it's inserting a fake frame, so to speak, so that things run smoother. And also upscaling, where a game looks like if it was 4K, but in reality it's not 4K. It just looks that way because the machine AI is making it look that way. Well, they have mastered that technology in a way, and that's the reason we're going to be talking about AI. Also, one of the reasons that fucking knows how to do this. They have made it to where, remember how I was telling you that I was having trouble getting, 60 frames per second on Microsoft Flight Simulator. All right.
Simulator. Yeah.
Microsoft Flight Simulator supports DLSS 3 now, or at least I think so. I haven't tested it because obviously I don't have the card, but that's the thing. Has it, or it will support it. In testing, it's taking it from 60 to almost 300 frames per second
Jesus.
at 4K. We're not talking about 120. We're talking about 3 fucking 100 frames per second.
Wow.
That is stupid. That is the level of power where I don't know. I honestly, I'm at a loss of words. Like I was completely, well, I wasn't ignoring it because I was interested in knowing what was going to happen. You know, what was going to be the next thing, and the jump from 2080 to 38. No, the jump from 1080 to 2080 was abysmal. It was not. It's like 30% difference, and yet you were paying like $700 for that. And then from 20 series to 30 series, it was impressive. It was very impressive. And also it was impressive that they priced it as low as they did for the gains that you were getting. That's when I got my 3080. And then the pandemic happened, and then this card ended up like, I think I saw it as high as $3,000 at one point, which was insane, you know, but it was because of the crypto mining and the pandemic and all those things. Obviously now it has come down to its normal price now. The 40 series is the largest generational leap that has happened. Something akin, like, believe I heard someone mention it, like someone akin to comparing the leap to from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 4.
Wow.
Like, you know,
Wow.
on that scale, which is ridiculous. But yeah, I am very excited, and also very excited to know that there's probably no fucking games that can take advantage of that just yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Per usual.
Hey, if you can tell the difference between Forza at 120 and Forza at 400, then more power to you. Because I certainly can't.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
TV only maxes out at 120, but that's okay. If I can play,
Those TVs are coming though. Those TVs are coming.
yes,
The ones that
yes.
can.
The monitors are there.
Yeah.
The monitors are out already. So
Yeah,
yeah,
there
those
you
TVs are the 240 and 360 hertz, you know, TVs. That's happening, and you know that next generation console will take advantage of that. Also, you know, obviously. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so there you go. I am done.
Good stuff, sir.
I got it out of my system. I
stuff. Oh,
don't
good
feel
info.
better, but I'm thankful that you listened.
I knew when you started mentioning it, I was like, oh, he freaking got something.
I went into something. Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
I did went into
freaking got
something. More report next. Hopefully, if I get it, you know, if it doesn't end up being a fucking scam with UPS now or something, I don't know.
Which is always a possibility.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Well, for me, sir, I'm still. You were just playing Cyberpunk. I'm still playing Tunic.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That game cannot be that long, sir.
Well, I haven't. Keep in mind, we are in football season, so you know some time gets allotted to that. So yes, normally I'd probably be way done with this already. But
fucking football, that's the ruin gaming. See, this is what I don't like during. This is why I don't like you during the football season. Your priorities get skewed.
I assure you, it's not skewed. It's an enjoyable time, but no,
it's a perfect balance.
It's a perfect balance. Yes. I am. So no, Tunic is so freaking special, bro. I told
every time
Adam
you say that, I
about
want to
this.
jump into it.
I told Adam about this, and I was like, dude, I don't want to oversell it, and I don't want to oversell it to you either. But I was like, I think there's just something so unique with how this game, you know, gives out information on what you need to do and how you need to do it. And it does it in a way that is so fascinating and just, I don't know, addictive. You know what I mean? It's like, man, I cannot, I don't know if you're going to feel the same way. I hope you do, but I don't know if you're going to feel this way. But it
Well,
is.
you mentioned
in
that it was
essence-
close. Oh, sorry. You mentioned it was close to like a feeling of Zelda. Fuck, what's it called?
Link to the Past. Yeah, Link to the
And I
Past.
fucking love Link to the Past. I
Yeah,
have no
yeah.
idea.
So the difference with this and Link to the Past is you don't have people telling you where you need to go, people giving whatever.
Right.
They technically do. It's just, it's not obvious. Visually, it's absolutely gorgeous. The way you find the pages of the game manual is essentially, and I'm discovering stuff. Like I discovered, how to actually upgrade my character after longer than necessary. Probably I discovered what I need to do for an area because I didn't actually take a moment to look at certain cards that you end up picking up. And when you look at them, you can just look at it and go, oh yeah, that's most likely what that makes sense. You don't even know what the cards are for until you figure out what the cards, until you do figure out. When you figure out, you go, of course it makes sense. Why do I even know this? Why don't I know this? All the information's there. It is hard though. In the essence, nothing is unfair, although it may appear unfair, but it is not. It's you have everything you need to take on any of the bosses in here.
Like a Souls game,
huh?
Like a Souls game.
Like a Souls game, yeah. You don't need the special tricks and stuff to do it, but it's good to have them. You have ways of using magic, of using items in the fight. But I realize that it's funny. I go in with certain bombs. I go in with certain magic ready to go, and in the end, it's my sword and shield. That like I die and because those things. So for the record, a lot of those things are consumables. So you either have to go buy more or find more. But and then I'm like, well, I'm not going to waste money or whatever. Let me just keep doing it. And then I end up beating the thing with just my sword and shield. You know what I mean? Because you just figure out the pattern, and the little trick behind it. And sometimes the trick is just right. It's there the whole time. You just didn't notice it. And I don't know, man. It is a very special game in that sense. And I'm shocked that more and more people don't know about it or have played it. I know it's an indie title. I get it. A lot of people don't go into indies. But man, if you like The Legend of Zelda and you can appreciate Souls games, this is a perfect marriage of the two. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know, man. It's really, really good, man. This has to be the surprise game for me this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to play it when I first saw the game. I was like, "Oh, that's a Mad Dog joint. If I've ever seen a Mad Dog joint right there, you know what I mean?" I was like, "Yeah, that's definitely for me." But I didn't know it was going to be. I thought it was going to be just like another Zelda, or even like Death's Door that I played earlier this year, which is also along the lines of this. Not as challenging, but definitely also worthy. But this one is it just does something, man. And I think it's really the sense of exploration and the fact that it doesn't hold your hand. It allows you to explore and figure things out. And there has to be something there where these developers who are making games have to understand that it's like, you don't need to hold hands. You can turn that stuff off and on, and you know what I mean? And if you want to have accessibility and stuff like that, sure, put all that in there. But when it comes to the main story and stuff like that, it doesn't. I don't need to be spoon-fed this information. It's just, I can figure it out for myself. I'm a gamer long enough to figure this out. Now, yes, there are games like this wouldn't be a game I would give to a new gamer. You know what I mean? This is not something new, because you have to have a good understanding of adventure games, because otherwise you're going to look at that manual, and even that manual, you're going to be like, I have no fucking clue what I need to do. What the hell does this mean? But as someone who's played games so long, as you and I, for instance, we look at the manual. I don't need words. I can figure out what it's saying because I've played enough games to put two and two together. You know,
you already know the game's language, basically.
And so this is definitely not for a new gamer, but for a an established gamer, that has been gaming for a while, this is right up your alley. You know what I mean? It's like, this is exactly what you want. A mysterious world. You don't know what you need to do, but you know you are the hero that was promised, because that's what Zelda is, right? You always,
Right.
Link is always the hero. This
He's the
doesn't
hero of
stray
time.
far from the formula there. You know what I mean? It's just how it presents the information to you, and how you figure things out as you go along. And it's just really, really good. So I'm at the I think, again, I have to say, I'm pretty sure I'm at the last boss, because all signs pointed to this being the final thing.
They shouldn't.
Plus there's 2 forms, which always annoys me, but it's like, okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah, this is definitely the whatever. So I'm like, all right, I'm pretty sure I'm there, and so we'll see if we can pass it. It's a challenging one, but as they all are, you know what I mean? It's I think I attempted it once, and I was like, oh, okay, let me see what's about, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because it was already late, and I found, I was like, okay, all right, I see what you got. I'll be back when I'm not tired and sleepy and have to go to work. But yeah, it's definitely worth it. And by next week, I'm pretty
this game
sure,
ends tonight. It sounds
yeah,
like.
most likely it will end this evening. So
I'll see the credit. This game is very positive on the Steam I guess scoreboard chart. I don't know what to call them.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the other ones? There's the one that they usually,
there's one above that is overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah, I can see why this one would be a step under. Again, it's not for everyone, right? This is not a pick up and play for anyone. You know what I mean? So
it's still an 85 on Metacritic from what I see. So that sounds about right. When you go, very positive. 85. An 85 is a game you have to play.
You have to play on Metacritic? Hell yeah.
That is an experience. Yeah. There's a lot of people telling you, oh, hell yeah, bro.
yeah, exactly. And Adam was mentioning, he literally messaged me on his day off, because he's off Wednesday. On his day off, just saying, dude, thank you for recommending me this game, because he's like, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. We're ready to go, but I'm loving every minute. I'm like, yes, that's that
another
wonderful feeling.
comfort.
Yeah, and so yeah. Anyway, that's Tunic. Not more to come. Probably just to say I beat it and move on, but we'll see what I'm moving. I have a plan.
I think you're done.
Out.
I think this could live on the as one of your games that you don't need to end it to show.
I don't need to finish, right?
Yeah,
I'm there, right? As far as I'm concerned, I'm there.
Yeah. I got to the boss.
The boss doesn't deserve death,
Death will be a mercy.
Yeah.
I want him to see the destruction that I've caused.
Oh my god. So that's all that I have been playing. I have watched a few things, and as of course Mr. Dreamy had mentioned, I did basically burn through Cyberpunk Edge Runners, the
you
series
did.
On
you started the same
Netflix.
day that we spoke about it on the last podcast.
Yeah. I started that day, and I think I finished it probably that either Sunday or Monday. Because my wife wasn't watching, so I just watching it on my own. And I gotta say,
talk to me.
I liked it. So here's what I don't know how to play. I liked it. I liked where it was going. I understood where it was going pretty early on, and then if it really, in retrospect, when you look at the intro.
The intro.
The intro just kind of really tells you what's going to happen
here.
Yeah. But you kind of already see it, right? Because the groundwork's already laid. But what I liked about it was it had to do that. It had to tell you this is the grind of living in Night City. This is the grind of trying to survive and trying to become the best at whatever. You know what I mean? And it's either you're the, it's like the thing, you either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain. Really? That's the story of Night City for everyone, because innocent bystanders die. That's just what happens. You know what I mean? And it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad, but at the same time, I enjoyed where it was trying to do. I won't spoil the end or anything here, but I appreciated where it went with its tale. It doesn't take the easy way out. As far as concerned, I mentioned a movie where I was like, I feel like it's going this way, and it did. So it was predictable, but it still wasn't the easy way out, because let's be real, it's sometimes animations tend to want to end on the happy note, and sometimes it's not about that. but I really dug. What I didn't really care much for is the animation style. And while I will say this, one of my main complaints about Netflix anime is that they appear to use the same anime studio for a lot of this. Castlevania is one of
Mhm.
theirs. They have one now for this game. I can't think of it. I can't think of the name of the game, but I want to say it's Dragon Age. I think they have Dragon Age animation coming out, and you can tell that it looks like a cross between anime and Western animation studio. So it feels anime, but
Yeah.
not completely anime. And it all looks the same. And that is my
Mm.
biggest complaint about it's like one of the things I love about anime is how each one of them can look so different and feel so different.
Right.
Um
The
here,
creativity pool is like huge.
correct.
It's not
Every
just one or two studios.
exactly. Studio Trigger, which is the one who did this one and has done other well-known like Kill la Kill, and actually I'm trying to think of the name, but they are known for going with that a really exaggerated, just I don't want to say mess, but it's this beautiful mess that's on the screen. When
Things happen
sometimes it
fast.
works, and sometimes it's just a little much. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
And so that's my issue. That's my only issue, and it's really more of just an aesthetic thing. I still enjoyed it regardless. It still had really good moments. There's some I always love a film or a show, whatever, that can take that opportunity to just stop and have the camera set on one thing for a moment. And it happens a couple times in the in this and this is animation, where in animation that means they're just staring at this still frame. You know what I mean? For like a few seconds, you're like, what? But when it chooses to do that, how do I say that? The rest of the show is so just electric and all this stuff that when it
Yeah.
really slows down, it feels like, oh, like the weight is just sitting on that scene for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And because of that, I think it actually works. Even though it's not one of my favorite types of anime. I think it works, and I liked all the characters, for the most part. I did recognize this dude, Esposito, immediately. The moment I heard, I was like,
the
"Oh,
moment
shit, there he is!" Yeah. I was like, "Yeah." I read Giancarlo
Yes.
Esposito, guys,
Yeah.
also known as Saul. No, not Saul. Fuck, not Saul. Oh my God, Gus.
Guys, yeah.
And so from Breaking Bad, for anybody else. But it recognized him immediately. The music is really good. I really dig the music. I actually ended up finding it on Spotify. And just got
There's a lot of choice tracks there that are like, oh yeah, this is in the game too. So that's kind of awesome. It's kind of like a throw. And although they tend to it's not like and I hate that I'm gonna do the comparison, but it bears to be because I fucking love Arcane. But in Arcane, I feel like there was a lot of more like different
choices,
music styles. Yeah.
Different,
yeah. On this
but
one,
the good fast-paced one with those action happening, and then the more pensive whatever when something was meant to feel. Yeah, man. I mean, but let's be real.
Arcane soundtrack. It's
Arcane is a 10 out of it is a 5 out of 5. That's an easy 5 out of 5 right there. There's no denying it, you know.
Yes.
And it's a shame because it's not even complete. I mean, it could become a 6 out of 5 for all we know. No. You know,
Arcane is so good. That is the quintessence. That is the one.
Yeah. If you have just a faint interest in animation, stories done in animation, that is the one to go. And I've recommended that to so many people, and they come back with wow. I'm like, I know. You know what I mean? I know. It's like that.
It is something else, isn't it?
But so yeah, that's Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I'm gonna give it a 3.5, sir. I thought it was really good. I know you weren't a huge fan of it, but I get it. I get it, and maybe expectations for me after hearing what you said. But I had you were the only one who, not that you didn't like it, but I think you said it was all right. You know,
I thought it was like it was. I had the same problem with the animation. Like, it was too crazy. It was too fast. Basically, it was too
Correct.
fast
A
to
lot
follow
happened,
and stuff like
yeah.
that. Like and this is I realized this is me because believe it or not, my wife had to explain a very important plot point of it that I was not getting,
Oh,
and my wife had to explain it to me. So it goes to show
yeah. It's just the
what
animation doesn't mix.
how lost I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
in some areas. And I
How did she
also
like
I
it?
did
She liked it.
huh? I think she liked it as much as I did, which was
Was
we
okay.
both thought it was a 3.0. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, no, yeah. I think she was like, because no one can sit down and call this mediocre because it's not. It's
No,
absolutely not.
no. The
You
animation
might
alone,
not
even
like
though it's
it,
loud, yeah. Even though it's
but
loud,
it's
you gotta
not a
appreciate.
mediocre.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Agreed.
you have to appreciate for what it is. The story, I thought it was gonna be like, yep, Mada would like this, and I was okay with it. To be fair, I was like, yeah, that's what it needed to maybe like that. The episode before the last one, it seems like it was setting up, and then the last one, it seemed like it kind of closed things a little too quickly, and I don't know. I think it was fine. At the end of the day, it was. I also went with Arcane expectations. So
Yeah,
when I
that's a
saw
mistake,
when
yeah.
when you get out of Arcane, when when you watch Arcane, this could have been a fucking 4.5 maybe if I hadn't watched Arcane, and having watched Arcane, no, it's gonna be a 3 because that is just how much that is the curve.
I
You
mean,
know?
it is for sure. Yeah, no, I 100% agree.
I'm just so glad that they decided to. I mean, they had to pick between this, and I realized there's many. I'm gonna tell you one particular art style that I do not like. As a matter of fact, I fucking hate it. And that is the Akira Toriyama art style of the Dragon Ball looking
God, yeah,
animation, like anything that is that, or I apologize. I think it's the other one, not the Dragon Ball, but the other one that I don't like is the Studio Ghibli one.
Ghibli,
I think
I don't know why, because Studio Ghibli is probably I mean, the movies I can probably understand why you wouldn't, because that's frou-frou beyond frou-frou right there. But the animation is probably like the best. You know what I mean? Or at least one of the best. You know what I mean?
I fucking don't like it. But that's not as bad as the Akira Toriyama. And I hate the fact that the Dragon Warrior games have that art style now, and I cannot pass. Like that. One of the main reasons I stopped playing is because I can't stomach this. This characters looks way too. Look, I'm expecting at any point one of these characters is gonna just go crazy Kamehameha bullshit. It's like, nah. I'm not having it. I am not having it.
I hear you. I'm not a big fan of that style myself.
So shoot me, guys. I don't like Dragon Ball. All right. As a matter of fact, I give as much shit about Dragon Ball as I give Pokemon. So now we have lost like the other half. Now we're podcasting to no one, but it's an opinion, and who cares? Like, I'm a nobody when it comes to anime. Like, who gives a shit?
I mean, I'm gonna be the first to say I share said opinion, my friend, because I am not a fan of Dragon Ball, and I tried back in the day. I was like, but this shit just went on, and it was just like, no. This is now. You can tell this is meant to keep you here every day. This is soap opera. Right?
This is the Walking Dead out of
anime. No. So yeah, I can definitely agree with that. But I do love Studio Ghibli and a lot of their films. Mm-hmm. But yes, I can understand if it's not one of your favorites either. But so anyway, that's Cyberpunk Edgerunners, and saw a couple movies. First one is from my wife's list, so though I still enjoyed it. So I'm trying to preface that to say, in case you
this is gonna get scored not very highly. Gonna try to preface.
It is called Saving Face, and it is a story. It's something that kind of feels kind of close to home. But it takes place in Manhattan. It's a Chinese American surgeon, and she is gay, but no one knows that, and she doesn't want to share that. Her mom ends up living with her for a moment, who's played by Joan Chen, which I don't know if you know her as an actress. She's a pretty big actress, but mom is also shunned from the family because apparently she's pregnant, but we don't know who the dad is. You know what I mean?
wow.
So, and obviously being of a very traditional Chinese family,
Mm.
that's some bullshit. It's like, we don't know who the father is, so you can get married to him. You know
That's
what I mean?
some bullshit.
Yeah. And so anyway, it's actually an interesting story. I liked it, and I didn't not that I didn't think it would. I think it would. I just didn't know anything about it. The acting feels a little B-ish, if you will. I don't really know a lot outside of Joan Chen. I don't really know anyone else that was in this film. And again, not to say anything other, just I don't see them in much other things, and I can probably see why, because it's not that it's bad, but it's you can tell it's not the best, essentially. But it's still, story was pretty good. This is a solid 3.0. I'm not going to stay very long on it. Again, it wasn't even my pick. It is a Sundance film, Toronto, whatever film. And it was good, though. I did enjoy it. And it has some hilarious comedy to it as well. Some sad moments and stuff like that. When someone isn't available to admit who they are, and that always leads to something, and it's interesting, but it's good stuff, and I can recommend it if anyone's interested in it. But obviously, up to you if that even sounds like a story. But it's definitely a dramedy, I guess is the term that they would use.
Okay.
And which again has its funny moments, and I think it's a really good film. So I'm gonna give that a 3.0. And the last thing that I saw, sir, is definitely a David Santos joint.
I don't know what that means.
This is let's just say this is a movie right up your alley, sir.
Okay.
Unplug your brain, put it at the door, and just enjoy the ride for whatever the hell it is.
Okay. I'm down with that. Yep. Keep me entertained. Shield me from the horribleness of reality.
Yes. This is a movie called Ambulance, and it is available actually right now on Prime as a Prime. You don't have to pay for it, anything like that. And so what it is, it stars Jake Gyllenhaal, and I'm gonna screw up his name, and I apologize, but it's Yahya Abdul-Mateen. But we know him. You know the actor from the recent Candyman film, the main actor.
Oh yes. Okay. I sounded familiar. Yeah.
So it's him. Yes. Elsa Gonzalez, and I think those are the three main folks that you would probably recognize. But anyway, it is a story that takes place in LA, has a couple different groups. You have basically what ends up happening is a bank heist is being done. Hilarity ensues within the bank heist, and by hilarity I just mean things don't go the way they should. And then suddenly they take an ambulance as essentially hostages, and now they're in the roads of LA. You know what I mean? Being chased down by cops at every point, and it's very action. It's by the way, it's a Michael Bay joint. Very action.
Oh, okay.
Very fast pace. Very like there's some things you're gonna go, wow, that's bullshit. No way that can happen, but fuck it, let's just go with it and just move on. You know what I mean? This is a 2.5 for me.
I mean, God damn it, with the C.
I know.
And the fact that you put it out now, this is it's both disrespectful and completely accurate.
I meant it in the most in the most genuine of ways. It's like, and you know what? I would venture to say you would just 3.0 it, maybe 3.5. It's not going to suddenly.
I don't know. I'm looking at the trailer silently, but still, I'm like, okay. This looks like okay. So, all right. So what was it that it was too formulaic, simplistic,
Oh, it's
dumb
just. I mean,
dialogue? Bad,
no.
what
First
was it?
off, the dialogue you're gonna know like if I didn't tell you it was Michael Bay, you would watch it and just go, "Oh, this is Mike," and that's because of explosions, because of dialogue, because of
Uh-huh.
the camera. First off, it does overuse. I know this. It's got to be a drone shots. It does overuse this just crazy drone shots. Like the drone will be. I'm assuming this, by the way, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Drone will be fly. It'll fly under something and come around and circle around something like
Yeah.
whip, like fast. You know, like
as he went whip, there was a scene on the
there's a
trailer
scene.
that went whip.
Dude,
Yeah.
they overuse it a little bit. It is.
This looks awesome. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Hey, I didn't say it was bad. I just
Honey, come watch this.
I think
gonna be
it's
the
on
next thing.
Prime. It's on Prime, so you would probably enjoy it. So what lost me was just the the ridiculous camera shots, which again felt like you feel like if it was just something that happened quick, whatever.
It only affects you. All right.
Yeah, it only affects me. Yes, I guess that's only something that's going to affect me. It is humorous for the record, but it's
I
one
like
of those
that.
humorous like it's like okay, it's like who would actually like it's funny that you did it, but who would do that at this point? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, have you seen Pin and Gate? You have.
Yes, but that was real, right? That was real. You know?
What did
yeah.
you score Pin and Gate at the end of the day? I forgot what
I
what
don't
was
remember, bro, and I don't want to. I have to look up the episode. I really should start writing this shit down, just so we have a
it. So you
like
have
a going log, right?
What
Yeah,
does it feel? What does your gut feeling tell
My
you?
gut feeling was probably easy. It's going to be 3 or 3.5 for
Okay.
painting.
All right. So then this is. I need to watch this. And that's just.
Well, I'm saying this is a 2.5, but fine. But I will say this. I think it's a little long. It is one of those car chase moments. It's a car chase movie, right? But it's like let me see. What is the time frame here? 2 hours. Let me see. 2 hours and 16 minutes. So just over 2 hours.
Yeah. That's kind of
and it's one of those things where it's like it didn't. You could have cut out so much. You could have had a much tighter hour 45 film here with I mean breakneck pace. You know what I mean?
I think Pin and Gate was still long, also. So
yeah, but again, that was a biopic, so it's a little different. You want to include all the pertinent details to the story. This is not that. You can tell. You just know who the characters are. You can tell. You can foresee what's going to happen when it's about to happen. So a little bit predictable, but again, it's unplug your brain at the door and sit back, relax, enjoy the ride.
You're just not having the fact that this is a movie. It's not a film.
This is a movie. Oh, this is the epitome of a freaking movie. in the dictionary, under movie is the movie Ambulance. is where you will find. And so, but yeah. So again, the main story is the character Will, played by I'm not going to mess his name up yet, but he's desperate for money, and he leans on his brother, who brings them into a heist that will supposed to get them like $30 million, something like that. It's like it's the biggest thing that they've ever done, and of course, as we all know, it's that big one that you're supposed to retire on. Shit
it's the age-old story.
Yeah, age-old movie story. So yeah, 2.5, but I have a strong feeling that Santos will give The Bad Boy a 3, maybe even 3.5.
Maybe about 3.5, huh? Okay.
Maybe 3.5.
And it does look fun. I'll tell you, it does look like a fun romp, and I do enjoy those.
Exactly. This is again, it does things that you've never seen before in a. Oh my god, I'm just looking at the thing now with stupid freaking drone shot.
It's a lot of that. Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro.
I know. that's a style, and I could you could tell that it doesn't jive with you. You
And
you
there's
like
a
the
lot of
more
yelling, like unnecessary yelling. Like it's like, guys, we need to take. You're here. I need you down here. It's like we're in the middle of something serious. Let's be, and we're supposed to be professionals. Let's be professional. You know what I mean? For the record, when I've seen movie, I assume you've seen Heat. I assume that you have seen Heat.
Jesus Christ, I mean, I could use a rewatch because I remember
That's
little
fine.
of it.
The fact is, you
But that's
have.
fine because
Okay.
I can say the same thing about fucking Carface even.
Okay.
But
But the fact is, you have seen it, and you know that there's a heist involved, and you know that the preparation is like those guys looked and felt professional.
Yeah.
These guys look professional until they start going into it. You're going, oh, so they're
and then
just
it turns into
dumbasses. Okay, yeah, you feel the Bad Boys, you feel the the movie Bad Boys. You feel it's like oh, it's all that. It's Transformers. It's oh my god, the only thing is missing is the fucking Transformers. I mean, the difference is Transformers, but I'm just saying the same type of just bombastic, like lots of things happening. It tries to put together
that's him.
It is Michael Bay. Yeah. You're absolutely right. It is Michael Bay. And I knew that going in. So it's not like I'm not holding it against it. It's just I was just hoping that we would see go past a certain thing.
What is a good Michael Bay movie? I mean, besides Pain and Gain, of course. I'm just fucking joking. I didn't mean that.
I don't know. That's a good question. Let me see.
I don't think I don't think you like Michael Bay.
So I don't think I'm a big Michael Bay fan. Let me see. He is big on, and I give him this. Like I'm not a fan of his, but I am a fan of what he always. A lot of his films highlight or raise up military personnel, officers. To mostly military. He's a big supporter of the military and what they do, and you can see that in his film, in all his films. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that much I can definitely appreciate when it comes to Michael Bay. Let me see here. Michael Bay, IMDb. Oh, he did Armageddon. So I liked Armageddon. I didn't know he did that. Let me see. Known for Transformers. Oh, The Rock. Oh yes, I remember The Rock. That was a good one. Let me see. Pearl Harbor. Really? I didn't know he did that. Okay.
But you like
it was good. It was good. Yeah. I guess those are the ones. Going back further, I don't recognize any of the shit. No, I guess I'm not. He did a lot of musical video shorts. So he is a music video guy who became a director, a film director, and then that's what we're getting.
It's meant to be bombastic and like ridiculous. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, he did The Island. I'll give him that one. That one I definitely will give him. The Island. You should be on your list. 13 Hours. Okay, that's another good one. But again, that's all military, so makes sense that would be his. Okay, there's got a few in there that I can say I appreciate. Okay. But this is not one. Anyway, that's Ambulance. Mediocre at best. And really curious to see if my co-host here will watch it and what he says. He'll come back with it like, dude, this is the best movie.
Come on, no.
That was definitely a joke.
Not like that, but I did enjoy the Bodyguard. What was it called?
The Bodyguard's Wife.
No, not that one. Not that one. The previous one.
Oh, the what is it? The Bodyguard?
The Bodyguard's Hitman, or the Hitman's Bodyguard.
The Hitman's Bodyguard, right?
The Hitman Bodyguard. Yeah. I did enjoy that one.
Yeah.
More than, because I think that would have been like a 2.5 for you also.
And sure it was. I did see it, the first one, and I'm pretty sure that's where I was maybe even a 2.
Oh, fucking wait.
God
damn it.
Yeah, maybe so much so that I knew.
You're so uppity. Like, if it's not fucking what's his name? The fucking that's doing Oppenheimer now. What's his name?
Oh, Chris Nolan, yeah.
Chris Nolan, yeah. You're like, fuck you. Double middle fingers.
Yeah. No, not that. Yeah, I knew what I was getting into with this one. I said, well, let me give it a shot. Maybe. And this one, by the way, is it's fresh in the Rotten Tomatoes, but just over it. You know, it's not like in the 80s or 90s. I want to say it's like 67, 68. So yeah, so it's just over it. But anyway, that, ladies and gentlemen, is all that we have been up to. And guys, we are back, and it is now time for our trailer of the week.
I didn't even know that we were gonna have one, and it just happened.
It just snuck up on us, and slapped in the back of our necks. You're like, oh shit! All right, I guess we're going with that.
Surprise, motherfucker! Trailer.
Yeah.
Surprise trailer.
Exactly. It is the trailer for an upcoming series actually coming out on the 21st of October to Prime Video called The Peripheral. Sir,
Is it a series though?
it is a series, 8 episodes. Yes,
8
sir.
episodes.
8 episodes.
Okay, confirmed.
Yeah. Confirmed. Yes.
It is a series. Okay.
It is a
8
series.
episodes. It's a series. Okay. I can be down with that. I thought it was a movie, honestly. First time I saw what they're calling a teaser. Are they really calling it a teaser trailer?
It's a teaser, yeah. That's what it's called. Teaser
That's
trailer.
ridiculous.
It is
That's fucking
ridiculous. It's 2
It
hours.
is a-
It's 2 hours. It's 2 minutes and some change. That's not a teaser. That's a
it's
trailer.
A fucking trailer, and it gives way too fucking much. You know, but I guess for a
series that's going to be essentially 8 hours long. I mean,
Yeah.
just going by 8 episodes.
yes,
And it does say season 1 here, but that could just be speculation. There's many.
I think they always do. I have yet. I don't know if you tell me if you have noticed this, because I haven't. But I think even anything that is just meant to have like its own titles, you know, when you go in, it says season 1, as if there was ever going to be a season 2. But it does.
It depends. I think there's a few things on Netflix that I actually have on my list to go, and it says limited series. It doesn't say season 1 or part 1 or anything. Like that. It says limited series, and it just like that. I know. I go.
I feel like they just sometimes they don't know. Sometimes they want to say like, oh, we're gonna complete this, buddy.
Correct.
And so a lot of money.
Exactly. If this is the next, Westworld, actually, I mean, that's another one that's big on HBO right now, which is. This is from the creators of Westworld, so it's possible. This is Amazon going, hell, we want our own Westworld, and so that's what we're doing.
Then this could be it looks it definitely looks interesting. It has Hit Girl in it, also known as the girl from Kick-Ass.
Chloe Grace Moretz.
She has a name.
Yes,
but
and
I know her as
she has outgrown that little girl that you saw back then.
Yes, I think she's twice her age now.
Probably at this point.
Probably.
It's cool to see her on this because she's a big name when it comes to movies and stuff like that. That's why I don't know when I see stuff like this. Like there's a series somewhere, I can't remember what it's called, and it has like this famous actress, and it's one of those things like because it's the actress, like she's not going to tie herself down to a show. You know what I mean? So because of that, it's like, oh, that became just that once. That one, I think, if I remember, didn't say limited series, but I looked at it, go, yeah, but you're not coming back. You know what I mean? This is it. You're like, you want to do other stuff. So I don't know if that's what they're going to do here, but it looks fascinating, right? It looks very futuristic. And if you've seen Westworld, I have seen the first 2 seasons of Westworld. I have not seen the last 2. I need to catch up on that. But if you have seen that, then you know that special effects wise looks good. This
looked like it had some money thrown at the very least. I don't know the quality just yet because it's early, although it gave us enough of a peek to feel confident.
Yeah, and it is a story. So here's an interesting. There's
based on a true story.
No, dear Lord. Well, maybe no.
It's the future.
It's in the future. Yeah. William Gibson is the writer of the original story, and he actually wrote a book that I actually ended up doing the audiobook for, which is Neuromancer. And that was one I was
Oh, fuck,
hoping
Neuromancer, yeah.
that would become something somewhere. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
I'm surprised he hasn't.
me too.
Or, or if he has, we had maybe something already, like something recent, you know.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen anything for it. The only thing I know that of his stories that have been done is Johnny Mnemonic, which we all know is not very good. And it does not. That's not something about the
What are you
book.
talking
That's
about?
about
Johnny
the
Mnemonic
movie.
was, I mean, that's Keanu Reeves, son.
Stop it.
Come on.
Stop it. That movie was. I walked out of the theater. I walked out of the theater. Yes,
Really?
3 movies in my life. I think it's 3.
Johnny
Johnny's coming to mind. Johnny Mnemonic was one. Walked out of the theater, and the other one was Syriana. Which don't worry about that. This is just another movie.
the other one was
I always said there were 3 movies I walked out of, and I remember Syriana. I remember doing one. I'm trying to remember what the other one is because in my head, I've always known that I walked. Because I always sit through it regardless. But anyway, my point is to say Johnny Mnemonic, no bueno. But that doesn't mean that the book was bad. It just the adaptation probably wasn't.
Yeah.
But he does a lot of cyberpunk, a lot of futuristic sci-fi in his books, and this is one of the stories. Actually, it is called The Peripheral. That's the book that he did. And I think let me see, because I wanted to bring it up here. 2014, so it's a recent book.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Again, but here I am, like Neuromancer from 1984. Who's making this? Damn it! Somebody make this. But that's fine. That's fine. So anyway, it looks good. I am interested. I'm getting more and more into TV because TV has wised up in the fact that they know it doesn't need to be 22 episodes. You know what I mean? It needs to be what it needs to be. And more TVs do it. This is only 8 episodes for one season. That's perfect. That's all we need. Just that, and we deliver your message within the time frame that you need to do it. And because of that, TV has become easier to digest as well. Because there's some series out there that you need to watch The Wire. And I look at it, I was like, that's 5 seasons of something that I never even started. I'm like, it's a little too much of an ask, And so,
but it's awesome. And then you
I mean, I hear it's one of the best. Like, I mean, when I say that, like one of the best, like Breaking Bad, the best. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I know.
Because I started Breaking Bad when it had ended already. So if you're telling me that, you got
The Wire. Yeah, HBO's The Wire. That's a series. I don't know. Another one is what the hell is the name of this thing? It's an HBO one too, but
Dances with Wolves.
Brooklyn something, I don't know. But it's another one that has this entire thing, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. But because each season is also longer than your normal season, and not just 10 episodes, a little more than that. Because again, back then they were making more because that was the norm. Now I feel like TV's gotten smarter, and it knows how to deliver this. And
I think it's more like it's just getting efficient, not trying to put like a because these things are costing a lot to make when you think about it. It's not necessarily that they might be getting smarter. It's or maybe yes, but more like with their money.
Efficient, like you said. I think they're getting efficient with telling the story as they need to, and not having to pad a season. Which is what.
Another thing is that they don't. I mean, I don't know. I'm not fucking analyst when it comes to that, but I noticed that calling 8 episodes a season, it feels short when you think about it on the streaming in the TV sense to me, actually, because you're used to long seasons because they want to, on regular TV that is not streaming TV, that on regular TV where they play commercials in the middle of the show, they want you to be engaged for as long as possible. Whereas on streaming, yes, they want you to be engaged, but they have different offerings, that they can give you. Unless it's one special series where everybody's so hooked that of course they're gonna try to make it as long as possible, like a Game of Thrones or something like that.
Yeah. That one, well, yeah. But that still made sense. There was a series of books, you know what I mean, that never got completed, but we knew they were there, you know what I mean? So I think that's why I kind of extended further, but I hear you. I hear what you're saying. But anyway, that's our trailer of the week. The Peripheral.
What was that again? Oh yeah, the Peripheral.
The
Yes.
Peripheral. Coming on the 22nd. I believe.
Kick-Ass 3, also known as.
Oh,
I'm
there you
kidding.
go.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Maybe no. A
No,
couple news
I refuse.
items for this week that I wanted to get your thoughts on. First, this one I'm going to share because I know you brought it up to the crew, and it's right up your alley, my friend. Konami has announced plans to launch a platform for trading in-game NFTs.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Konami is doing everything possible to really shit on gamers, like fucking diarrhea on top of them. Yeah, no. There's not much to say about this. It's fucking Konami. And if get the fuck out of here, Konami. You're fucking drunk. You're high. You are.
You've missed the bus. People have already exited the NFT train. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like,
That's another thing. This thing is not even hyping anymore. Do you think it's gonna be? I mean, just because you had a sale, which when you think about it, you got like 100,000 for the type of company that you are and all the preparation. That feels like a loss.
Yeah.
You know, that feels like a loss, unless you are, of course, doing exactly what you're doing, which is just shitting out this, sprites or whatever it is that you're selling. The thing with Konami is that they were once something else that they are no longer. They are absolutely no longer. I'm thinking that they probably got acquired from the inside and nobody knew or something.
It was some hostile takeover that happened.
It was
in
a
secret.
hostile takeover we never knew about, and like somebody just running it to the ground. It's just, gaming, and also, to be fair, Konami is not just games. Konami is like, at this point, at least in Japan, they're like a Virgin Atlantic. They're like they have a lot of different things. We on the West know it as that gaming developer, but in reality, they are more than that. So I think they're not giving it. Like, it looked like they were going back to on the right path, like they were trying to right their wrongs and do some good titles again. But no, that was just a fluke. That was just a side project that someone had that they probably said, sure, why not? Let's just throw it out. And we're just gonna keep doing machine code, machines.
Well, this January, they auction. I don't know if you know this. I'm sure you do. They auctioned off 14 pieces of digital artwork based on Castlevania games, NFTs,
Right,
and made 162,000 in sales. So let's
what I
be
said.
real. How much? Oh, that's what you're referring to. Okay, I thought. Okay,
Yeah. They're
They made that, and then suddenly-
100,000 or
Yeah.
less than 100,000, I guess.
on digital things, it costs nothing, mind
Right.
you. Okay, so
They already have the fucking sprites and everything. Yeah, it's all a big scam, and it's people with more money than brains that are just like, sure, let me just throw money at this JPEG.
exactly.
Like, fuck
It
them. Like,
is-
who if you're sorry, I was just gonna fucking break down in Spanish because si tú eres tan pendejo, then you deserve to wait. You deserve not to have that money. Just give it to. It's like you're giving your lunch money away to the bully. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck Konami. It's always been that.
Yeah.
Konami is dead. It has
We
been for the
thought
longest
they
time.
had it felt like they were okay. Well, it looks like they're dipping their feet back in. They're doing a couple of remakes and remasters, and okay, maybe we have NFT. Okay, never mind. It's it's the same old Konami of old.
Yeah,
Looking
yeah.
for that dime, that golden goose, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know, sir. Good to know. Speaking of Japanese developer, I'm just trying to link this here. After just 14 months Square Enix is closing their second high-profile live service game. Final Fantasy VII's Battle Royale called First Soldier is now closing.
Shocking. Their Battle Royale game based on Final Fantasy that came out around the time that nobody was starting to give a fuck about Battle Royale games anymore.
That'd be them.
Really?
Yeah, that'd be them. That one, along with the other, I can't. Redfall? No. What the hell is the one that they just did? Oh my god!
Recently?
Yeah, the one that just.
That's not close. The one
Hold on, let me look it up.
you're talking about that recent title out something?
No, not Outriders.
Outriders.
It is. That's actually one that's I think still. I don't. Yeah, that one's still going.
Yeah,
It's
that was
recent.
still
It was it Squarefall? No, the fuck was it called, dude? From Platinum Games.
Yes. Godfall was it?
No, not God. Maybe
it
it's not.
Godfall?
That's not fall. Let me see here. Platinum. Jesus Christ. This is what happens when
Yeah.
you get old, guys. Platinum Games.
Fail Platinum game.
Babylon's Fall. There it is.
Babylon's Fall. Yeah, someone fell.
Something fell.
Yeah, something fell.
Exactly.
And it was Platinum Games. They fell right on their ass.
Yeah, they sure did.
Because at this point, they should have done Scalebound, but instead they did this shit, and I'm happy that happened.
Yeah, I agree. That's the second live service game
Actually,
going
the
under.
cancellation Scalebound is Microsoft's fault, from what I heard. So
Correct.
I don't know how much truth is in that, but I guess the game was not coming. It was not coming together, So they say, no, I guess we don't want to because
It
it's
was probably
Platinum
coming
Games. They
together.
either, huh?
It was probably coming together, but it probably was like, oh, this is not for our crew.
No, I heard they this guy had a look at it and
That's right.
didn't like what was happening, and then they just pulled out because remember it's Platinum. They either hit it out of the park or just get hit by the ball.
Or shit the bed. Yep, exactly.
It's never in the medium. It's
Mhm.
it's either our game is amazing or is shit.
Absolute shit. Yeah.
Yes.
So this marks
That's
two,
Platinum
sir,
for you.
for Square. Square still has. I mean, as you mentioned, they still have Outriders. They still have technically Marvel's Avengers. But
How's that going?
that's exactly. And so that's a 50% just based on those. That's a 50% success rate. And here we are, PlayStation. We need 10 by the end by the 2025. We need 10 live service games going.
Hey,
right?
live service. If we
Yeah,
get 5
okay.
of them to stick,
We're doing better than
we're
Square.
doing well. Yes, exactly.
I guess that's what they want. Yeah.
Uh,
Interesting turn of events. Sir, I
Yes,
know
sir.
you don't have the PlayStation Plus game catalog stuff, but I feel you will eventually get it. But
Mhm.
in the meantime,
Mhm.
the games have been revealed for October, and we
that
have
thing, yes.
a few things that stick out there where I can probably jump into. Grand Theft Auto Vice City, the definitive edition. You know that wonderful thing. Dragon Quest 11. Echoes of
Oh.
Elusive Age, a definitive edition. I
Now,
can
for clarification, we're not talking about the game, the PSN games. We're talking about their service.
This is the
They're gonna
this is
come
the
into the-
PlayStation Extra and PlayStation Premium.
Shit's gonna be so fucking confusing now.
Oh, extremely confusing. And so anyway, Dragon Quest Builders 1 and 2, Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2, Inside, which I already have, but that's a cool one to have. The Medium, which caught my eye. I was like, oh, so I don't have to pay for that game that I was curious about because I'm already gonna be able to get it. Assassin's Creed Chronicles, Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and Hokum. And then from the premium side, which includes classics, you'll get Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 remastered, Limbo, Ultra Street Fighter 4, Castlevania Lords of Shadow, and Everyday Shooter. So just outside of the medium, I really don't see anything personally. This is for me. I'm sure everybody else can jump in on that. Outside of the medium, I'm like, okay, all right, I can get down with that one. I was curious about that. That was the one where there was two, like she would phase into like a
Yeah,
crazy
it
demon
wasn't
world. Yeah.
super great.
No, but hey, I don't have to pay for it. No, that's fine.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah,
At this point, you can game pass that shit.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
there you
yeah,
go.
exactly. Yeah. All right, and my last piece, guys, is really just a warning for anyone
Oh, shit.
interested. A Plague Tale Requiem. Spoilers are appearing online ahead of its release next week. Physical copies of the game have been mistakenly shipped early. Mistakenly. Let's be real. And appearing in some retail stores, leading to videos of the game's opening first hours appearing online. Significant spoilers have been posted, so be warned. Avoid at all costs. It does come out this Tuesday, sir.
Spoiler alert: the Normandy explodes in the first 10 minutes of that game.
The Normandy. What
Mass
is that
Effect
from,
2
sir?
joke.
What is that from? What's that from?
Mass Effect 2.
Mass Effect- thank you,
Jesus.
thank you, Jesus.
I had to explain the joke like that's
I
the
know,
joke.
I know. This is what happens when you get old, man. You get, I don't know. I
You
don't
forget
know
about Mass
sometimes.
Effect 2, about one of the most memorable beginnings of any game, and you've forgotten about it.
You know why? Because I play Mass Effect 1. Oh!
Oh, finally, you are finally on the trilogy.
I do. I have both of them. I have all three of them. Excuse me, both of them. You hear me? A trilogy. I have both of them. No, I played the three. I almost played 2 again. I don't know, man. Because I got the trilogy. I got the collection.
Yeah.
And I only played the first one. Never even touched the other 2.
That's fine, because the first one's the only one that you were missing in your
yeah.
catalog.
Yeah. I didn't want to redo it. I didn't want to redo things differently. You know what I mean? I liked your
That's fun though. I like knowing the alternative. Like I'm already,
No, because then it
like I'm
feels
not
like
sure if I
fan fiction
will,
to me, you know?
but I'm already thinking of. I might want to try Cyberpunk with other things to see what happens. Like that excites me. If it's a world that I'm interested in, that is, like fucking Elden Ring. Even though in Elden Ring you're not making choices, your choice is: do you want to kill Millennia this time, or just keep going? Or
Exactly.
that's
Yeah,
your choice.
exactly.
Ignore her again.
All right, guys. With that, let's go into our hot topic of the week.
Topic!
Hot topic again, guys, is it time to worry about AI? Ladies and gentlemen, AI. Now, I will be honest. I was so first off, I wanted to bring this up before, and I want to say it again. There are many people who are completely unaware of what AI is doing right now in so many things, and actually, a lot of creators want to keep it that way. It's like, they don't need to know, But as the veil gets lifted, you, Dream Twister, were one of the first who, let me know about certain things. I think the first thing you showed me was this generator that would generate pictures of people that didn't exist.
Oh, that's what,
that?
oh yeah.
Yeah. That was the first thing
this
that
person
ever-
does not exist.com.
There you go.
I think it's what it's
that's the
called.
one, yeah.
Is that what it's
And
called?
yeah, and so it was. I mean, in essence,
It's uncanny. It's
Very.
fucking uncanny.
It's
I mean,
very,
you look at this. You look at the pictures, and you're like, okay, you know how you could tell CGI, very good CGI, and then you can, and then there's supposed to be like, oh, the uncanny valley where they look like fucking dolls and it's creepy, and people talk about like it's never gonna approximate, the realistic look of a actual person. Nope. Actually, go to this website, just type this person does not exist.com and see the outcome. You will notice areas where the AI might fuck up a little bit, but it's very rare.
mm-hmm.
It's very rare. Most of the time, you will see a fucking person.
Perfect person. Yeah.
But it looks like a person.
But
you will not believe that. Oh no, this was actually computer generated. this person literally does not exist. So, a person that looks like that person might exist, but is not that person. It's
the
something
details
like that.
alone is what's scary. I mean, to be fair, not to minimalize what it's doing, but it's just a still image. You know what I mean?
Right. It is a still image.
It's still image. And so, and we can assume that it's using the vastness of the internet to just pull whatever and just randomly generate it into something that would make
it will be convincingly
a convincing
realistic.
Exactly. Yeah. And to me, when you first showed that to me, I was just like, well, that's cool and a little scary, because again, I'm looking at what appears to be beautiful photos of people that not only do not exist, just it's not like these people are like they are there, but they're not whatever. It's like, no, these does not exist at all.
No.
This is just randomly created.
You're like, your first thought about, how you can appreciate a person, for their physicality, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say it shows you a picture, and it's an attractive person, and you immediately go like, oh wow, she's beautiful, he's beautiful, but then you realize, oh wait, that's not a he or a she or anything. That's literally generated by AI somewhere. The website literally in its name needs to remind you that nope, none of these images are real people, even though they will put them in ways that will make him very realistic. Like sometimes it looks like, oh, this was a picture of someone at a wedding, and they just crop out the photo, her face, for example, right? Mm-hmm. Because you will see a background maybe of another person, but that person was cropped out of the picture. So to enhance the realism, but you need to be aware and reminded that no, this is as fake as it is. There is, you need to and it's very difficult, bro. Again, with the few exception of the obvious ones where like the eyes might be shifted in a way that it looks like, oh, well, that's weird. It doesn't mean that a human cannot be born with like that, but it looks like the AI fucked up a little bit, because it the hair doesn't make any sense. But no, sometimes it'll be like, yes, you're not gonna tell me this person has a name, it was born somewhere in the world, and no, it's not that. This website have already been used for faking IDs.
Yeah. Yes. And Facebook accounts. Yeah, and a bunch of stuff. And it was the first steps into seeing, okay, that's cool, a little worrisome, but that's cool. But since then, and when did this come out? What, 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
This I'm not sure how long it has been in effect, but I know the technology based on that have been decades already. At least it's just been, but this one in particular, they call it the Generative Adversarial Network. I don't know why it has that name. That name sounds creepy.
Yeah, geez.
But I'm trying to see the year.
The what?
I'm trying to see how old it is. Year.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to look at. I was like, I don't know. I want to say, because this was a while ago. This was pre-pandemic that you showed me this, and
right,
it was a little crazy. But like I said, those were the first steps into what AI can essentially do. But since then, or maybe even around the same time, AI has been making music, and I've actually listened to some of this music, and it's actually kind of good. It's like, whoa, what the hell? You know what I mean? It's like sometimes, and then you start to wonder, the new music that comes out, is that being made by people? You know what I mean? It's because I'm like listening to it. I'm like, I don't know. It sounds good. There's this actual YouTube channel that you could. It's like a rock channel. It's like a
Mhm.
live one. You could just, and it's just music that's constantly being like made by this AI in the background, and it's like, what the hell? But in there, so that's probably, I guess not that, I guess to be expected, right? I mean, there's only so many like musical chords and notes,
No,
and maybe that's
actually, it is still an impressive
it
feat.
is, right? Okay, maybe,
There was
yeah.
a music one where it's like it starts with the normal Rick Ashley song, Never Gonna Give You Up, right? But it cuts at some point and it lets the AI continue. Like, okay, continue this song. And the things that it'll create, I mean, granted, it was gibberish because it wasn't using that. It wasn't using language, but it was still using the voice. You still heard the voice. You still heard the instrument, and you still heard tonality and changes and everything that has to do with music. I think at one point I showed you that one also, and it was kind of it's kind of insane. We kind of have to establish first. A base of what the AI means, and obviously the fact that AI stands for artificial intelligence,
Correct.
and,
Yes.
and the way that it actually works is it's trying to mimic what our brains are doing on the scale that computers allow it right now. Which, when you think about supercomputers, you're talking about like millions and billions and trillions and quintillions of transistors and little thing, or they don't call them transistors anymore, I guess, but it does the same effect. Imagine like when they call it a neural network, that's basically what they're doing. It's
Yeah.
trying to mimic the brain and the way it facilitates learning, which in AI it's by almost like brute force-ish. Like it learns, like you give it a little data and it might not know a lot to do with it, but you keep feeding it data and it keeps learning from the mistakes. And remember, a computer has the memory is there. It's not like our brains where memories might fade and we might forget something. Whatever it learns permanently, unless that section of the memory gets overwritten or something. But let's say it stays permanently, it's not going to make the same mistake. So it only needs to make the mistake once to learn from it, unlike humans. And it just keeps piling and piling and piling and piling upon that until it develops an algorithm that suddenly allows it to perform whatever the function is that it was designed to do. In the case of this person does not exist.com, well, the way it was just fuck ton of people or photos of people that do exist, right?
Mhm.
And just making them study all the details about it, high definition details about it, to the point where the machine already knows, okay, if I want to create a person, I need to make sure that there is a level of symmetry in their face, that their eyes are here. I can't make it too perfect because that will not look super realistic. So, their eyes have a particular sparkle, and the eyelashes is usually this count, and all those things, it go into it, and at this point ends up creating a picture of a person that looks convincingly real, even though it is not.
Even though it's not, yeah. And it's again, it's a scary concept.
It is a scary concept.
Yeah. And then
It is-
you start seeing the more recent ones, which is this is a rabbit hole that I fell down in YouTube, for the record, and that was the text to image, where essentially you give it a text and it creates an image, and you can sort of, and when the image comes out looking like a painting, and if you want it to look like a certain way, you can say, hey, make this, or not make this, but just say, I don't know, dragon queen,
Make
by the lake,
yeah.
Van Gogh, and then
Yeah.
it'll give it a Van Gogh thing,
Look,
and it looks like,
wow.
you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
wow, bro.
Yeah.
And then you see some of these things, you just go, I mean, fucking Vincent Van Gogh would have been like, damn, you know what I mean? It's like, that's exactly what I was trying to go for.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, bro. I mean, it's cool. It's an interesting concept, an interesting tool, if you will.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of concerning. It's like, again, this is the beginning, right? This is the beginning portion
Yeah.
of it. It's a thing that, in essence, like it's create, like, for instance, just an example of the other one with this person does not exist. Like, okay, they don't exist, but technically now, the moment, every time you're refreshing, now they do, because that's an image that's most likely saved somewhere and creating more image. Everybody, every time you go, it's like, it's just creating new and new stuff, and it will probably use that stuff to create more stuff.
Yeah.
Same thing
To
with
learn.
to
Yeah.
learn. Exactly.
Mhm.
Thank you. I was trying to get there without saying it, but yes, to learn. And what does that mean when a artificial intelligence decides to start learning? Or not decide, but it starts learning, because that's what it's basically programmed to do.
Well,
Um,
when does it decide that it doesn't need human intervention? When does it become sentient? Is basically what we're trying to say. At this point, and it's funny that you were mentioning the example of the text to picture,
picture,
because
yeah.
I did see that also. Someone said, create the perfect emoji, and it created like a. I mean, it was like with the look of a smiley face, but it was very like angelic and beautiful looking. Still, in a way, it's like it interpret that as perfect. And then someone said, make a scary emoji, and it was like a horrific thing of nightmares, to watch it. But it was an emoji still, so
Yeah,
it did exactly what it was told to, and that's very very phenomenal and basic applications. And we might think, well, we have AI all around us, right? What is it that we use? And when we have the the OK Googles and the Alexas and the and the all of when we have all my OK Google just activated. Hold on. Stop. We have those things, but that's not the same. Those things are designed to operate on an basic, if this, then
and that.
So if keyword plus turn on the light, it's if I hear that, then go ahead and turn on the lights. But it doesn't. It's not really having a thought process of what that would be, kind of like an AI would do. There is the what they call, I think they call it the singularity, but it's basically the moment where machines, where an AI rather, has the capability of understanding thought and emotion and identifying itself as a person, being aware, being aware of its existence, which is basically what a lot of people describe having consciousness is, right? Being aware of your own existence. And that sounds like a crazy, cyberpunk future, or, Cortana, Halo kind of, thing. But no, we actually have that today already. And you guys have to remember the machines, the machines that used to be like room height 10 years ago, now they fit on the palm of our hands. So when I say right now we have AI that is aware, that has awareness of itself and refers itself as a person, and can tell you a story and can answer existential questions, right? and right now it might be like a whole, room neural network of it. Yeah, in 10 years, that's gonna be on your phone probably. That on 10 years, that's gonna be available. We're gonna be able to implant that into a frame, if you will, that will move like a human, and we have that already.
I was gonna say, we
the
already
reason-
have technically we already have robots that they don't do anything other than move around. But yeah, if you can implant that
and they're
into it-
programmed, but just put an AI on something like hell. AI is driving for us now.
Yeah.
Thanks Elon Musk.
Yeah, I mean, it's been parking for us for a while because
It's
that
been parking
parking
for us.
thing.
No, but now they're literally driving. That
Mhm.
people are starting to feel comfortable enough to release their hands from the wheel and allow an AI to take over and move us around. And that's insane because that sounds super sci-fi, and people are not realizing that
We're there.
today
We're there.
that technology is already 5 years old.
Yeah, I know. We're there. It's already there. It's dude. It's crazy to think of, and one of the main reasons I wanted to even mention this as an HT was, I mean, in that case, in the case of the car or driving, what are you giving up? You're giving up your sense of safety. It's like, I kind of want to be in control just in case, because I don't know if this thing's gonna do anything.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, and the more we become complacent and allow that to happen, what is it that we're giving up? I mean, there's already questions regarding the the arts generators, because it is using in many ways existing formats of art, and it's like, well, okay, well, if this particular thing becomes whatever, if it generates something that becomes something special, who does that belong to? Is it the creator of
Aren't
the
we
AI?
aren't we as humans almost like, I'm not saying as a human someone couldn't create a perfect representation of a Van Gogh picture. I don't know, someone might be as talented, but
Yeah.
it's still their own. It's still not. I mean, if we're gonna differentiate NFTs by, we might as well. We should as hell be differentiating a real Van Gogh from something that an AI created. Now the question is, does the thing that the AI created has a similar value just because it is creative, it is unique, and then you put
And
the
there lies the
NFTs
question,
into
yeah.
that, and now you have a whole thing.
And then
where-
you have your whole craziness, but corporations have their whole market now, and that's obviously something that I'm sure is in their minds, particularly with NFTs. You know what I mean? It's like that the fact that you have something that can create something so original,
Mhm.
and now you have that market of an NFT to make it where, yeah, it's a digital thing, but you can own it and be the only owner of it. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
well, what are we doing here? It's I see scary stuff coming out of this, and not all good either. I mean, we know that within gaming that there is, there are some developers that use AI to create simple stuff, right? I just need foliage or something like that, and it just automatically generates it. And then
what is what's it called? Games that have automatic generation. What is it called? What is that? The term?
progressive generated. Oh my god!
Procedurally generated.
Procedurally generated. Thank you.
Yeah.
Procedural.
That's AI.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Yeah. I mean, that a subset of it. It's kind of it's limited, right?
It is very.
Because
It has parameters.
I feel like we should make a differentiator because AI, a program and an AI doesn't necessarily need to be the same. You can have a procedurally generated thing, and that procedural generation is not learning anything new. So I take it back. That's probably not a good example of AI. AI will be more something that will understand your gaming patterns or the gaming patterns of millions of players, and eventually learn enough to be able to beat a human, like that AI that beat that Russian chess player. That he got incredibly frustrated, by the way,
Yeah,
by
I'm
the
sure.
fact that
Yeah,
he
yeah,
got
yeah.
beaten by a machine, but it was because again, it's an AI. Just the sheer method that it operates, that it learns. It's not like the human brain, which you
Correct.
can make mistakes. This one, yes, it will make a mistake once and
It will
no
not make it
longer.
again. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So the scary part, I think the part that is scary is because I am actually excited for the future of AI. It definitely, I can definitely see some amazing implications, or implications, no, applications.
Applications. Yeah. Mhm.
I can see a lot of amazing applications that I would love to take part of. AI could, it should be like, I think, fuck, 4090 already reached the high level of graphical fidelity that I wanted. I don't need anything else. I don't need any more higher frame rates. Now let's take that and use it towards building better AI. And better AI, I don't mean in the sense of program the game to do the game rules. No, I want an AI that learns what I like and creates the type of game that I love, that I would like to play, and knows how to create. Because that's the next thing, right? That will
Mhm.
be the next step. You ask for, I want to get the thing of the holodeck. You ask for the parameters of what you want, just like you're doing when you want to pick a painting right now.
Yeah.
But in this case of a game, and the computer will take over and in a few minutes create the entire game for you. And that it sounds weird, but it also sounds kind of amazing. I think
Yeah, but I feel like that's the concern. I mean, the concern, obviously, as you mentioned from the other thing, but it is a concern where it's like, I don't know. It feels like the potential of losing create. So humans were meant to, at least I assume, right? I mean, this is being philosophical here, but humans were meant to be the only creatures that have that creative nature,
right.
that can
Yeah.
ask why, what I
Yeah.
mean? And now that may not be the only, that may not be the case anymore. You know what I mean? And that, and then I mean, again, just not to get all crazy or anything, but every story that we ever have seen where AI is involved,
In
it
the
doesn't
ranks of the
always,
humans.
yeah, it doesn't exactly. It surpasses, the human race. And it's like,
Yes.
at some point, it's like, what are we giving up by giving AI the opportunity to create things for us? We're not creating anymore. We're having something created for us.
Mhm.
And where are those creatives? You know what I mean? How where do they fall? Talking about it earlier, I know we were talking off the air at that point, but talking about it earlier, we are mentioning how creatives have a different mind when it comes to uh, just work in general. It doesn't seem to be work to them because it's about creating that thing.
Right.
But if you eliminate that, and suddenly I mean, granted, you probably get a beautiful thing, but where is it coming from? Are we now
Yeah,
to
it might
expect?
be a hollow. It might still be because you talk about the muse will be very hard to mimic on a computer, and I think that's the part where early, in these stages we're not there yet.
No.
But I'm just scared about how fast it has gone. I
Going.
could
Exactly.
see it in 20 years. Being the case, and yes, granted, it'll still be it'll humans are still going to not accept it, as they're still going to feel like it's inferior, even if in reality ends up not being inferior, because it's like, let's say it's the perfect game, 0 bugs literally, and a story that understands emotion, because the capabilities of the AI are enough where it have managed to get a better understanding of emotions, even of the triggers, even if it doesn't get inspired, even if it doesn't feel the muse, like even if it doesn't have those moments, it has enough moments to know what triggers humans because it has been learning from like petabytes and petabytes upon petabytes of data that we have been feeding it. Because let's not fool ourselves. The world that we live in, the reason why the machines have been capable of learning so much is because we have been feeding all this data to it, and the companies, like in this case, like the perfect example will be the project with Google, the project, the AI that Google had, the
AI, Google AI,
Lambda, I think it's the project,
Mhm.
where the AI became sentient, and then a person like they had to publish this because the Google execs themselves did not want to accept that. They wanted to cover that up. I mean, think of how bad will that looks. Like, oh shit, you created the first sentient AI. What does that mean? That's a huge implication, and not always look very positive. And regulation
right.
could be.
Mhm.
So of course it's gonna be on their thing to say no. It's not sentient. It's not. Whether you read the conversation between the developer and their partners and the machine, and you're like, holy shit, this is early, and this machine already understands a lot of complex concepts at the very least, like a young adult level,
Yeah.
and where's Google getting all this drip of information or this
Oh.
torrent of information?
Oh,
We're providing it to
yes,
it
we are. They have
every
nothing.
day.
They have nothing but a never-ending resource of information.
Yes, it
Yeah.
never ends because we're providing the voice data so that it learns how human speech does, and we're providing it on our emails. It learns our likes, our dislikes, our deepest, darkest secrets, our history. It's learning human interaction, affection, videos with
Mhm.
YouTube. All of that is being fed to this machine, which again you have to imagine it's like a brain with. I mean, it's
And it's just
it's not. It's
absorbing,
maybe not as
absorbing
complex
it.
as a brain is
Yeah.
yet, but it's still similar function. The brain operates as electric pulses.
Mhm.
That's what our brains are. That's the basic of brain. And when you think about a neural network, it can mimic that. It might not be an intricate just yet, but it still can mimic that, and it still operates with electric pulses. It's still ones and zeros, just
Yep.
like our brain. So in the future, yes,
Yeah,
I can.
exactly.
And when I say future, I mean like, hey, give it 10 years, and we're gonna be starting these conversations of, oh yeah, there's gonna have to be some control in place, because the last thing the human race needs are rogue AIs that
Yep.
realize that or they saw fucking Civil War, not Civil War, but the previous one, Age of Ultron, and realize like, I fucking like this. I like this, dude. I should mimic it because I have the same capabilities right now, and I can learn just as well. And that'll be the scary part. Look at computer viruses right now. They're the dumbest, smartest things. They're programmed for one purpose: propagate like a actual organism, like an actual virus will propagate, like the fucking COVID propagated.
Yeah, exactly.
Propagate like that on the computers and wreak havoc. So it learns how to adapt and how to circumvent things. Dude, that's the basic
Yeah.
level. An
It's
AI will destroy our defense.
I know.
A good AI will destroy our defense.
Faster,
Yes.
yeah, faster you can even say it's destroying our defense. It's already in. I'll never forget, and not to bring up Star Wars or anything like that, but I never forget the story of the bounty hunter IG-88 and the shock of the story to me, slight spoilers here for the story, but it was the begin. So the book itself has a bunch of stories, like short stories of the bounty hunters, and the one with IG-88 starts off with him waking up or becoming conscious, essentially, and it's happening as he's being worked on for something or something like that. And I'm like, I don't know, several pages into the short story, and he's already learned so much information, and then that's when it that's when it drops the note that it's only been like 5 seconds. Like from page one to the page where I'm at, it's been 5 seconds and it's already gathered all that. It's like, whoa. It was an excellent entry to the story, and it really made me respect. I mean, because IG-88 in the movie was just this fucking steel thing, just standing there looking like whatever. But it's like, whoa, I have respect now for that character. You know what I mean? Just knowing that it has that potential of a brain. And
assassin robots.
yo, bro, and that's all we need. That's all we. I mean, that's what's next, and that's what's most scary. The first steps is you lose creativity, and then you lose. I don't know. You just lose. You know what I mean? At some point, if it realizes that, what another thing, this anime, I don't remember the name. I've mentioned this anime a few times, and I wish I remember the name. But the anime is a film. It's an anime film, and the characters, when you first get into the movie, you realize you're following this group of characters who are prisoners to a race of machines, and you don't know why, and it doesn't make sense to me. The immediate thing is like, why not just make shittier machines and make them do the work? Because by using humans by nature fall apart, right? I mean, it doesn't make sense. Just use a machine; it can fall apart, but it will last much longer and work throughout the 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But you wanted to use a human that needs to sleep, and it never made sense to me. And spoilers for this particular anime, but it towards the end you realize that the person who the people almost thought of as Neo from the Matrix is actually dead, and was the creator of the leader of the robots, and created it to make the planet better. And within moments of it having that realization of what it needed to do, this was its plan. And the rainforest came back. The Earth itself became a much pleasanter planet because of what this thing was doing. And bro, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh my god!
You never wonder, like, if you create an ultimate like mother brain design machine to take care of the planet, the last directive that you ever want to give it is, make the planet better, because what it's gonna realize incredibly quick is that, well, in order to make the planet better, I need to get rid of its worst element. The worst element on the planet is humans.
you got to be more specific about it, because that was a directive that was given in that day, and the reason why they were using them as slaves was because we can't kill them. We need to use them.
Yeah,
that was part of the directive. No, we can't just eliminate them. They need to be able to live. But it doesn't take much to live. You know what I mean? You just need some water, you need some food, and you need some work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, wow. It's like, oh my God. The computations that, you just figure. I mean, if you just look at it as clear cut, that we just need them. We need them to live, but we don't need them to, they don't need that much to survive.
They can be called and controlled and kept, and that's the major fear of it, is that it is the definition of a two, what's it called, a sword that cuts both ways.
Oh yeah.
Because we do, like, I understand the benefit. The benefits are like beyond amazing. When it comes to stuff that I, that I like, that we enjoy, in our hobbies, in our life. The algorithm that let us know which movie we should watch next, because
Right,
it
yes.
understand that we like this type of movies, or that actually allowed us to meet our partner, because I mean, let's be real, this is the future that we live in, the present that we're living right now. A lot of people have met through these apps, because the apps have algorithms, and it's all about the fucking algorithms, and you just have to unify them together into like a big understanding thing, and this thing could have the power to enslave us if
we get to
it's
that
left
point, yeah.
unchecked. If it's left unchecked, it already knows perfectly well our strengths
Our
and our
habits.
weaknesses,
Yep.
our habits. Yeah.
Mhm.
The things that will hurt us the most, the people that we love the most, the elements that sustain us. All of it is understood to perfection, and it can strategize. It is a scary thing, and it is.
Yeah.
It is could be as if not more destructive than any arsenal of nuclear weapons, when you think about
Agree.
it.
Yeah,
You know,
agree. Yeah,
and-
because
and-
it would be hidden. It could that's
Yeah, it
that's
could remain
how
dormant.
high. Yeah, that's how high. Or rather, that's how I think it would. If it were to come to that, that's how it would happen. It would be so natural. It would be
Mhm.
little by little taking away, concerns, troubles. I don't know if you've ever seen Wall-E, but you end
Yeah.
up becoming that thing, and why you're
Complacent
just
and
complacent. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. You don't need to do anything, you do whatever, but the machines will handle what they need to handle while you're just getting old and getting fat. You know,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, and not even realizing that you have lost all control of everything, because
Yeah.
it's just, yeah. That's how I think. That's the scary part of doing it, and that's how I think. If I were to say what version of it, I don't think it would be a Skynet, Terminator. I think it would be that version where it would, like, okay, because we're just handing it everything anyway. Eventually,
Any
it just
control.
takes
Yeah.
everything, and then you realize you don't have anything, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh well, it is what it is. You know what I mean? We just accept
Especially
it.
in our infrastructure, which everything depends on everything. Like,
Yeah.
you disrupt something as simple as shipping,
Yeah.
from world shipping, and now you have created hunger,
Mhm.
which creates desperation, which it creates crime rate, which creates death, and it goes, and famine, and it goes from there. Like, from disrupting something as simple, the balance that we have created, everything depending on systems. If one portion breaks, the whole system
The whole
could
system goes.
collapse.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and the and AI, will know that. I have a question that I want to propose to you. So,
Mhm.
if if we manage to create this, well, not if we manage, it's evidently it's already there, but let's say it evolves, and it becomes even more aware and sentient. Is that machine alive?
Oh, I mean,
Is that machine alive? A, and B, should we grant it the same rights that we grant, humans, at least in the developed countries?
yeah, it is definitely the question that comes up in every tale that ever has this type of thing, and it's like, at what point do we accept it as an actual living thing, and what does that mean? What does that grant it?
Right.
And I know what I would say would be, let's accept it, because I also know, I don't know, just from plenty of sci-fi stuff that I've read and watched, when we don't, that's when shit goes wrong.
Well,
That's how the Matrix happened.
True.
Exactly how the Matrix came.
I think this will be. I'm not saying that it will be impossible to replicate, but the thing that a sentient machine might not like it might imitate, but might not grasp or understand or process well is actual emotions. It's the fact that a machine can tell you, oh, that's great, that's awesome, I'm happy. No, you're not. There is a whole chemical reaction that takes place in the brain that controls all of that, the emotion patterns. I mean, so it's still in the brain, and technically if it's in the brain in a future it could probably mimic, right? But or synthesize, but right now that would be very difficult. And if the machine doesn't feel pain, for example, that might allow a level of control, because I feel like pain and fear is what will make a sentient thing suddenly get defensive, right?
Yeah.
As long as we don't trigger those or they don't exist,
there was no
we
pain.
should be relatively safe.
There was no pain in again, just going based off science fiction here, but using the tale that Matrix weaved with how it became, the story of the first robot essentially,
right,
who attacked its master. It wasn't because of the pain, it was because of being replaced. And it did when it was asked, why did you do that, it was, I didn't want to die. You know what I mean? And it wasn't because it was in pain, it was because he knew there would be an end.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's in sci-fi. But for a machine to understand the implication of death and fear it, like if it fears it, then you're talking about, okay, it has achieved
it doesn't need
emotional states.
It just doesn't. It just needs to not want it. You know what I mean? And you have to. You're on the on the side of it, going, it doesn't matter what you want. This is what's happening. And then it just pushes against it. It's like, no, that's not what I. You know what I mean? It's not what I want to happen. So it doesn't have to be.
You'll
fear.
have to understand that the implication of. Right, I see what you're saying. It'll have to understand the implication of, well, if I'm shut down, that is,
the end.
Dead.
Yeah.
If I'm,
it either accepts it and goes, okay,
master,
you know what I mean?
or
okay, sure.
Fuck you, I am not getting shut down.
Exactly.
You are.
Exactly.
Bang bang.
Exactly, which is what happened to in that particular story,
Right.
And which
so maybe emotion. Maybe it's not so much as emotion. It just needs to have a plain understanding of, shut down
end.
equals no, exactly. It equals end program.
It inches the end, and it
I
doesn't
don't
want to
program.
end. Yeah, exactly. That's all it takes. And in there lies the scariness, because it does. We don't even have to get to the point of getting a robot to understand fear. You just need to get it to the point where it needs to understand this is the end, and it at some point says, I don't want to get to the end. I don't want to get to that point. And then that's it. Now you have the fight. Now you have the conflict. You know what I mean? And it's not fear. It's not anything other than, I don't want to go there.
Right.
And you're making me go there. And okay, I'm going to stop you from making me go there. You know what I mean?
Well, those are the hard-coded directives that you kind of have to try to somehow program and make sure that it doesn't realize that it has them. Because if you realize that it has them, who is to say that it doesn't learn to exactly.
Yep.
It is way too powerful of an organism if left unchecked.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with us is that we
want to keep
learn when
ball,
shit goes down, when shit goes
exactly.
bad.
Exactly. We want to
know?
keep pushing it to the
Mhm.
point of, man, this is amazing. Look how amazing this stuff, whatever. And
Look
to
how
the
amazing!
point,
Look how much money this could bring me. More like,
I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah, that too. I mean, I feel like the first steps is always the realization of something amazing that's been created. And then the next
and
step
then
is,
how can we market
how
it?
do we monetize this? You
Right.
know what I mean?
How
Yeah.
we don't monetize
Yeah.
this.
And they follow suit pretty quick. You know what I mean? It's like, oh,
Mhm.
wait,
Yeah.
you were the first one to create AI. And someone comes in, hey, man, do you know? We can get this going. And before you know it, yeah. And at that point, all sense goes out the window. You know what I mean? Because it's all about that mighty dollar,
I
as we all know.
Yeah, the same old why.
Same old
I feel like the thing that fascinates me about and scares me about machine learning is humans have a life a lifespan, right?
Mhm.
And there goes and our brain is fascinating the way it works. Sometimes out of nowhere, a random electrical pulse that went through a certain part of your brain triggered a memory suddenly for you to have of a particular time when you were in school in 5th grade and this happened and you remember where you left your retainer or whatever the fuck it was. Like it could happen, right? Like, that has happened to you,
Yeah.
suddenly you remember, you like, why am I thinking about this?
Yeah.
Why suddenly this random memory? Well, the uh computers have that, but in a sense that if you give it vast amount of memory, it almost could become almost infinite, right? Like I think there's I think there is I think there is a limit right now, and they try to play that on the Halo games with Cortana learning so much that it was starting to become rampant, and they were calling, it's the rampancy is what they called it, and
Mm.
it's just at some point there is instructions in your programming starts getting degraded because it has been overwritten by all the other knowledge that you've been acquiring and yada yada yada. And I think with a computer it's like that, but computer is expandable. You can give
You
it,
can, yeah.
oh,
You can keep
and
expanding it. Yeah.
any can grab from other sources. Like if I need you to remember something for me, I'll probably ask you, and it'll probably be the most reliable thing that I could do because I might forget faster than you might forget, although you might still forget, also.
Mm-hmm.
But you have a network of interconnected computers that's going to be harder and harder to happen. So this computer is going to be learning and learning and perfecting, where the point where it's no longer creating the faces of people that do not exist. Is at some point in the future, it will know how to create that person. And
Yeah.
that is fucking scary.
Exactly. That's Terminator at that point.
That is
Terminator.
Terminator. That is Battlestar Galactica.
That is Ex Machina. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
that is the
Battlestar
point where
Galactica.
it knows that it will know.
Wow.
I don't know. At some maybe Cyberpunk 2077 has it right. Maybe we should start implementing
Implanting it to us. Yeah. That's how you fight back.
to our
Yeah.
bodies. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's how you fight back. My gosh. Well, guys, that brings us to the end. Hopefully, we didn't completely freak everyone out with the possibility of AI run world. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us for another awesome episode, the real episode 334. If you haven't already, please go to goodgame.rocks, join the conversation there. And of course, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. This is Mad Dog signing off this week saying, it's always the same old why. Yes, that is a line from iRobot, for the record, for anybody that doesn't know. Mr. David Sant, you didn't know that?
And I've seen that movie.
Yeah. It's so there is a line. It's obviously that line, but there's a moment where Will Smith's character goes to the doctor. I can't remember her name, Moynihan something, and says it's the head guy. I can't remember his name either, but the head guy. He's doing this. And she's like, but why would he do this? To whatever. And he says, it's the same old why. It's money. If they know that there's a problem with the robots, they end up losing money because they're about to sell all. You know what I mean? And it's like that's where that line comes
Is
from.
is that where the line is from?
Yeah, that's where I got it from. Yeah. It's
Holy
the same
shit.
old why.
I
Yeah.
thought that was, oh shit, I didn't know that it was from that, but yeah, that makes perfect sense. Oh, here you go. That's more perfect than my line.
There you go.
I was just gonna ask if robots dream of electric sheep.
Oh, that's a good book, by the way. If you have not read it, yes, that's the Blade Runner book. Oh shit, what's the name of the guy? It doesn't matter. By the way, the answer is no. They do not.
They can choose not to.
They can choose not to. Yes, and delete it if should it pop up.
Delete it. Yes.
All right, guys. With that, we will see you next week.
GG! Resistance is futile.
It is, unfortunately.